The food, the art, the clothes. We put this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. You better stay on your toes. Repo, tilling the land, focus on the ego. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grind, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts. Found out the hacks, put it in 80 racks. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up what we had. Facts.
And that's facts though, I talk factos. Ask J Babe, I go Astro. Floating focused on my cash flow. We plant star seeds to make the grass grow. I'm a refloater, I do what I wanna. Stacking the winter, sunbathing the summer. My chakras align and I shock them like Blanco. Only Pope we acknowledge a nigga is Pablo.
At these events, I'm a god to my people. Got out the streets, yeah, we dodging a Rico. Game of roulette, I'm a casino. The game wasn't fair, yeah, the odds wasn't equal. Squad got the Chico, my squad got the Chico. Came in a drought, yeah, they starving the people. Blaming and doubt, make it harder to eat, yo. Not a placebo, this not a placebo.
The food, the art, the clothes. We put this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. You better stay on your toes. Repo, tilling the land, focus on the ego. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grind, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. Found out the hacks, put it in 80 racks. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up what we had. Facts, facts.
Started in Richmond, art of my district. Heart of the mystics, started for biscuits. Father to Isfits, martyr to misfits. God is my witness, God on my hit list. Moving the weight, we started with fitness. Moving with states, we art of the richest. Give me the blues, my heart is in Memphis. It's part of adventure, started my venture. The F is for food, the A is for art. The C is for clothes, I'm playing my part. T is for check, I'm playing it smart. S is for shelter, I stay in the park. Acres or acres get lost in the dark. We playing a part, we playing it smart. Facts, facts, okay.
The food, the art, the clothes. We put this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. You better stay on your toes. Repo, tilling the land, focus on the ego. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grind, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. Found out the hacks, put it in 80 racks. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up what we had. Facts, facts.
It's a movie, it's a movie.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome to a very special episode of KTL Media. All right, Know the Ledge Media. We have a very, very powerful show for you tonight. We are joined by a legend, a master teacher, a brother who, you know, for my Moorish brothers and sisters, this man needs no introduction. But for the new students that are out there, people that are new to this channel, you're going to have the pleasure of meeting our good brother, SHARIF Bey. All right, he'll be in the building in a minute. I see you, SHARIF. Peace to the God, Islam. Yes, yes, yes. Before we open up the floor and bring in a special guest for this evening, I'm going to go ahead and do the roll call like we always do, because we want to tap in and see where the family is, where the family is at. You know where I'm at, where you at. All right. So we have East Flatbush in the building, and rightfully so. Shout out to NYC. You know what I'm talking about? BX in the building. Shout out to Bronx in the building. Wagwan Seknet. Shout out to the BX. You know what I'm talking about? Okay. Shout out to Houston in the building. Tampa in the building. Cali in the building. North Carolina. Richmond. Wait, there's a Richmond, NC? And what am I? Well, really? Okay. Spartansburg. Shout out to Spartansburg in the building. Yes, yes, yes. Indeed. Kansas City, Denver, Boston, Georgia, LA in the building, or LA. Okay. LA in the building. Houston, Texas, by way of Seattle. Sanford, Louisiana. Staten Island. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Lakeland, Florida. I see you. San Fran in the building. Harlem up in this thing. New Orleans. Man, y'all deep up in here, man. It was really good. San Diego. Bama. Philly in the building. Shout out to Philadelphia. Shout out to Philadelphia. City of brotherly love. Mystic Philly, I see you. Bridgeport, what's happening? Shout out to Bridgeport in the building. All of Connecticut. Peace and love. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And then here we go, across the pond. I was waiting for you. France is here. You know what I'm talking about? France is here. Minneapolis. All right. St. Louis, Clearwater, Florida. I'll show you. I'll show you. Okay. So we in the building, man. And make no mistake about it. We here. You know what I'm talking about? We are here. These Wednesday shows, me and Blue Pill were doing these, and you know, we kind of like got caught up in doing what it is that we do. But keep this date on your calendar. Wednesdays on YouTube, we will be doing KTL Media, where we'll be bringing in our world-renowned guests. You know what I'm saying? Only masters though. Louisville, Kentucky in the building. Only the masters. You know what I'm talking about? There's a lot of masters out there with a lot of information. And, you know, we are in the fourth quarter of 2022. So this is time, it's hibernation season, it's AKA cuffing season. So we're going to take advantage of that, and it's going to be learning season. You know what I mean? It's time to teach the family, because you're going to be on your phone in the wintertime more so than you was in the summertime. So we got to give y'all some content, you know what I mean? So you don't get caught up in that trauma porn that's going on all around the internet, where you look around, where people are being very reactionary. You know what I'm talking about? This channel here is about proactivity. You know what I mean? We understand that offense wins the championship, not defense. Offense. So we like to lead the conversation. We like to control the narrative. We like to put the information out there before, you know, and do what consciousness means, awareness. Help the people become aware of certain things so they could be ahead of the conversation. You don't want to be behind the conversation. You don't want to be behind the float on Eastern Parkway. You want to be ahead of the float. You want to be either on it or in front of it. You don't want to be behind it. You know what I'm talking about? So that's what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to be doing. Chicago, what's goody? All right. Vegas, what's happening? 7 Mile, Detroit. All right. Valdosta, I see you. I see you, Valdosta. You know what I'm saying? Where my Moors at? Islam, to all of my Moors in the building. Shalom to all of my Hebrews and whatnot. Hebrews, y'all having the best week ever. You know what I'm talking about? Having the best week ever. Shout out to y'all. Hotep for my brothers and sisters of the Hotep faith. Bed-Stuy in the building. Do or Die. Trenton, Queens, Florida. Kentucky. You know what I'm talking about? Beautiful place, Kentucky. Shout out to everybody out in Louisville. So there you go. The family's here. We in the building. We deep. You know what I mean? We global. You know what I'm saying? We showed up. We are here. So I need to start the show. I want to go ahead and get my guest up in here. I don't want to just be talking all night. I want to open up the floor for the legend, you know what I mean? So he could introduce himself and make y'all familiar with him and whatnot. And we could get to this very powerful conversation about Moorish magical machines, old world tech, and new world tech. You know what I mean? That's my type of language. So without any further ado, friends and family, I introduce to you our good brother, my brother, your brother, all right? None other than good brother Sharif Bey up in this thing. Peace.
Peace.
Peace of God.
Peace, God.
Islam.
Islam.
Yes.
I'm feeling that song, bro. Facts on facts on facts.
You see, we got that bop, you know what I mean? We got the formula. We got Source Guard on the hook.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Out of Memphis.
I gotta tell you, I respect the movement, brother. You all built the movement. I've been here since you already know. You already know. You know.
You see it?
I see it. I respect it, bro. That's real movement. A movement moves. You know what I mean? Movement
gotta move.
It's gotta move, bro. It's gotta come a point where we push ourselves away from the computer screen and we put our hand on our brothers and sisters' hand. You know what I'm saying?
I spoke about the interaction that we have as human beings through these black mirrors, through these devices and whatnot, and how comfortable it could get just living through these devices. You feel me? Where it's like, oh, the device is gonna save my day, and I'm gonna tap in with these people that I claim that I love, and it's almost like Menace to Society when they went to go see Purnell, and he was behind that glass mirror, or South Central when he was touching the plexiglass, but you can't have hand-on-hand contact. I'm not locked up. You can't just live through. You can't just rock with me through the phone, my niggas. I'm not in San Quentin. I'm in the real world. I need real world interaction. I'm just different like that. Some people are what they consider to be antisocial.
Right.
I'm the opposite of that. I have a lounge in Atlanta, and it's a social lounge. Me and Blue Pill opened up.
Yes, sir.
And I did realize that I'm not as social as I used to be in my younger years.
Hold on. For those who don't know, this man in Blue Pill ran a magazine, ran a hip hop magazine, Court magazine.
Right. Classical. We was giving the knowledge out early 2000s. Right. And I used to be a promoter before that at Club Cheetahs. I don't know if I was a club promoter in the Manhattan at a club that was like one of the most poppin'est clubs at that time, Friday nights at Cheetah.
Oh, all right.
But but I realized that I'm a little more of a recluse these days. So I go to the lounge almost every night.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't like it here. I don't like being a host.
Right.
I don't like being in these enclosed environments.
Right.
I don't like being in the dark with hookah smoke and things of that nature. Not to say that I don't like the club, but every single night, bro.
Right.
That's not necessarily something that I'm into because it was like a big shift for me. You know what I mean? I be in a house. I be in a house most of the time.
Yeah. No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So, I'm working that out. You know what I mean? I'm working that out. I love to pop out, but not every night. You know what I mean? Right. Like that's for the 20-year-olds and the youth and whatnot. They got shit like that. But
brother, you and I were doing this. We've been involved in this thing. I'm talking about big man days.
Big man days.
I'm talking about Dempsey Center days.
You feel me? Pre-LIU.
Yeah, for sure.
Shit. That's right. Dempsey Center. Look, I share with when I tell my origin story. I went into Harlem one day, right? My grandfather, rest his soul.
Yes, sir.
He was on 117th at a senior citizen spot, right? You know, where they hook you up with a crib and everything, and you know, you might be paying $20 a month. So I go to see him. My mom was like, "Go see your grandfather." He used to cook this banging ass shrimp stew. He's from St. Croix, so you know they be, you know, the men from the islands, they whip up, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they get busy in the kitchen. So I used to just go to. I'd be like, I'm going to get me a plate. You know what I mean? Yeah. He was like, go to 125th Street. There's a nigga out there with a bullhorn that I think that you might want to see. Right? He's talking about Sarnetta. Right. I go out there, I see Sarnetta, I meet Dr. Jack Felder and his son Nova Felder, right? They invite me to the O'Berry Dempsey Center. They say there's a class going on tonight. And I'm like, oh shit, I like to go to lectures. You know, let me pull up. I pull up and Dr. Ben is there. Woof. 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 This is 05. You feel me? Dr. Yosef Ben Yakinen does fucking legend. You know what I'm talking about? Just randomly there. And I came back to my grandfather that night and I was like, yo, can I stay with you? Woo! Yeah. He said, hell yeah, you can stay with me. And I stayed with my grandfather for about 9 to 10 months, bro, until I got my apartment on 129th Street. Right. And me and my son's mother moved in together. But I was sold on Harlem after that. Yeah. I knew y'all were Brooklyn dudes. I knew y'all were Brooklyn dudes. But I'm like, I see y'all uptown all the time. Like, the people on the line, it's different now. Like we kind of opened it up to where that's acceptable. Right. That was not that was an anomaly back then. Like there was Brooklyn dudes out there that might have been jostling and hustling weed and whatnot. Right. But for me and my brother to pull up in Harlem and tap into the consciousness with the nigga with the bullhorn, and because we was like LIU kids. Yeah. They talked about us. Speaking about LIU, they dragged our name for months. Shout out to A. Rashid, man. I just talked to him last night. Matter of fact, me and him is doing something. His birthday is a day before mine. Nice. November 13th. So me and him are going to be doing a master class together. He'll be in LA. I'll either be in LA or Atlanta. And we're going to tap in and do something together on some Scorpio power. What he's going to be doing is giving people, because you know right now, the Kabbalah God, he should be the most requested dude in the community because of the conversation going on about who are the real Jews and Hebrews. Nobody wants they didn't touch into the Kabbalah yet. How about that? The mysticism aspect, the shit that could put everything, they still on an Israelite type thing. But he's to that community what Bobby Hemmett was to the Negro community with his dark magic occultism. He's that for the Kabbalah. That those are new, that's old school, old world magic, new world magic. Let me just say this, and I don't want to jump too far ahead, but I'll just say it since you brought it up. Gematria, which is an aspect of Kabbalah, is old world tech. It is a magical machine. And that's the fact, bro. Abjad in the Arabic, Kabbalah in the Hebrew is all old world technology. And to jump a little further ahead, what this technology is, and I'm going to explain it in more detail for the watchers. It's consciousness assisted technology. What the Euro West did was take human consciousness out of the equation. Right. You know, divining and whatnot, the divination systems. Yes. You know, that was consciousness. That was conscious technology. You know what I mean? I was talking to my son yesterday. He's into gambling now. Well, he's into betting. He's not like doing dice games with Jay Prince and them. He's doing betting. You know, they got the online betting in New York now, right? That's like the wave with the youth. So he's always been analysis. Me and my father, when my son was like 9 or 8 years old, we were like, yo, we're going to finance a YouTube channel. We were doing everything in our powers to try to have him become like, what's that dude on Sports Center who be doing, Stuart Scott was alive back then. Right. We didn't really rock with Stephen A. Smith too tough because why go to the facsimile when you got the carbon, when you have the original? There you go, bro. I don't do facsimile. I don't do carbon copies. I don't do knockoffs. You know what I'm talking about? The only time I did knockoffs was this Louis belt that I used to wear. But that was about it. So we wanted my son to be on the technical analysis shit. We was like, yo, the way that you break down the sports, it don't even, like, he used to go into the TA, the technical analysis. He wasn't, you know what I mean? He knew the stats of every player. He knows all of that stuff.
Wow.
So now that they have like FanDuel and all of that, he's excelling because he knows how to bet on the game. So I told him require watching his Bronx Tale and Casino. I'm gonna get him right.
Yo,
you know
he's a walking algorithm.
He's a walking algorithm. You feel me?
Yeah,
so then I was like, yo, you know about gematria? And he was like, not really, you know what I mean? So now his birthday is coming up. You know, I'm gonna bless him with a whole bunch of technology that's gonna strengthen his mind so he could become a beast. You know what I mean? Because he has he's like, he wants to hit for 10,000. That's his first arc that he's trying to hit. Cause I'm like, yo, by next year you'll hit 1 million easily. Yes, he's like, yeah, I almost hit 1,000. He showed me the charts and everything. He missed by 1 point the other day. You know, because he's betting on all of these different scenarios, and he missed by 1. I'm like, shit, you already got the 1,000, the 10,000. Yeah, you there, bro. Let's start planning. Let's plot on your millies and whatnot. So I got to work it out to where he's not addicted, because you know I was like, I don't want you to be like Drake and these niggas addicted to betting. You know what I mean? But I support what you're doing because you know that's a young man's sport.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And as he's figured out, and you recognize as his progenitor, his physical progenitor,
right?
It's a science to it.
Look, I was playing dice when I was his age.
Come on.
And right behind at lunchtime behind the stairs and whatnot.
Right.
We was playing CeeLo.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
He's advanced. He's betting on sports games that he knows. He's familiar with this. So my whole theory is, why know all of this and you not benefiting off of it?
Come on,
that's not the way the world is working right now. I'm like, we could have had your ass as a young sportscaster, but
real talk.
You could do this, and I approve of it, and I'm gonna be there for you, and you know, I'm gonna get you the cheat code. I told him that.
Yo, bro, this is so dope. It's dope that we even having this conversation, you and I. It's so dope that this show is happening. And again, this is old hat for you, maybe for your audience, but during the stock market crash, 1929, and the Great Depression, lots of people got hurt. Lots of people were starving. Lots of people lost money, lost a lot of stuff, right? But few people with a little bit of vision, a little bit of foresight, got filthy rich. Mm-hmm. Why? Because during that time period, the social order of the day and the economic order of the day crashed.
Right.
So that meant that there were no rules. That meant those that created the rules at that time become the new archetypes. You see what I'm saying? And that you all have built an ecosystem, bro. This is the time where things are crumbling.
Right.
Our outlook shouldn't be, oh my God, it's falling apart around our ears.
We should be celebrating on rooftops.
Come on, brother. Now we should be like, because by and large, our people are still sitting on our hands. And Providence has this thing where the European psychology and the privilege is going the way of the dinosaur real fast.
Right. But unfortunately, the mentality of a lot of our people is they're going where the European goes.
Ain't that something?
Because remember, to a majority of our people, white lives matter.
Woo.
And they pushed back against Ye because he exposed them. He didn't disrespect black people. He exposed the fact that slavery is a choice in these modern day times. And our people are too tethered to the same people who are falling, who are sinking on the Titanic. So when we say white lives matter, we say that if you have Caesar Borgia on your wall, white lives matter. If you lay on your bed playing with that rose and whatnot, and you orgasm into a white man on the screen, white lives matter. If your Jesus is white, that means your God is white, because a lot of our people have not even divorced the concept of God not being a human being.
Come on,
you feel
bro.
me?
If you hip twerking and equating that with liberation.
That part. So white lives matter. Stop playing with me.
Right.
If somebody who's paying, who you got to go and put your hand out every 2 weeks and whatnot, and if he didn't pay you, you would get evicted. You're not eating. You don't got gas money, nigga. White lives matter. Don't play with me. Stop playing with the, you know what I mean? The of emotional niggas that are in the way. And whenever something like that gets put out there, Black Twitter and all of these bots start activating, and they create all of this noise and whatnot, and you can't hear the truth. But the truth is, and then he had Pope John Paul on the front of the shirt. I don't even want to get too far into that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, you know, he was exposing niggas' hands. Yes, white lives matter. And why do white lives matter? Because when they canceled them from everything and when they unplugged them from the system, you niggas was like this.
Woo.
You didn't stand up with them. And came up with every excuse not to stand up with him. But he had said, but he had did. No, nigga, white lives matter. Because y'all more worried about Balenciaga's relationship and the gap with this nigga in Adidas than the fact that you should have been applauding that he has now the opportunity to be a boss. That's why white lives matter. Because y'all are consumer slaves. Y'all was rooting for the brands.
Bro,
but
and not even, and you know, we're all family, so we can be critical on ourselves. Not even discerning consumers that recognize that their power is not the dollar, but where, whom, and when to spend.
Right. And you could tell this is an uneducated customer because if Yeezy gets cut from Adidas, that makes the Yeezys a collector's item. If they like, yo, we never gonna make these again. I'm like, nigga, sell me those shoes because I know what to do with them now.
Right.
I already got 3 pairs coming. They talking about Goodwill won't carry them. Nigga, you couldn't carry them. Stop playing with me.
I just saw that. Goodwill.
That's all a consumer hoodwink. Y'all don't understand how the market works. The resale market is going crazy on Yeezys right now. Are you dumb?
Right.
You feel me? Are you dumb?
Right.
So I already know that people don't know what the fuck is going on. Right. And what's been glaringly made evident, once again, is the power of media.
Woo! Come on, brother.
When they weaponize the machine called the media,
come on,
I don't know if people are strong enough to push back because that shit turned into a war machine in the last weeks of October. And
yo, don't you see it?
Straight war machine.
Sheesh.
Straight war machine.
Back in 2000,
cannons came out. TMZ, Vlad TV, CNN, all of them got together like a firing squad and got busy, right?
It's real. It used to be illegal. Follow me, people. It used to be, even though it was done anyway, it used to be illegal until I think around 2012, 2013. For government agencies to propagandize the American public. Right. It's no longer illegal. It's no longer illegal, people. In other words, what the CIA normally does to disrupt other countries and other economies of other nations is now open season on our own country.
Of course. Yeah. Because once they identified a homeland threat, they were able to now, the citizens become enemy of the state. Oof. And I showed empirical proof in the lecture that I did on Sunday of the CIA's hand in Hollywood. Yeah. When I say Hollywood, I'm talking about your TV shows. I'm talking about all of these movies. We showed how the scripts have to go through the CIA office. Come on, the Pentagon and the CIA have directly in Hollywood.
Yo, brother, listen. We know individuals. Some individuals personally that worked for Office of Special Investigations for the Air Force that talked openly about paying cash in bags, right, to reporters, to screenwriters, to film directors. Like, right. You're gonna say it this way. All this goes to show one big thing for me. Right. Narrative is the algorithm. And narrative to them is more important than the money.
Right. Right. It's about narrative. There's no such thing as money they don't care about the money. They want to control the hearts and the minds. Right. And Lee Richards says, I'm white, right? And that's a misnomer. You're European, or you might not even be European. You might be a Nordic. This channel says time's up for white people. Well, time's up for the matrix that the Nordic or the European became the face for. I don't know who's controlling y'all, but the time is up for y'all hiding the truth. You understand? And I said it on the show prior to that I don't want to be in contact with anybody outside of my nationality if they're not coming with smoke and guns. Because Kanye said that the most highest asset that you could obtain is intel / data / information. I don't want your Wikipedia or Google facts. Right. I want the secrets. I want the shit that y'all been hiding, because we're digging it up anyway without your help. Right. And then we have those that are assisting us and whatnot. Right. So based off of the fact that they've declared intellectual warfare against our people, and we've seen how they could put us back to sleep. The line has been drawn.
Well, here it is, bro. And on top of everything of what you said, here it is. The ideal. It's bad sociology. I don't care what anybody says.
Right.
The ideal of whiteness as it relates to a people is dying on the vine now.
Dying on the vine. Even the concept of what they call white.
Right.
White people are going to have to face the fact that they're going to revoke the status of white as a colorable term very near in the future. And then you don't have that shit to shield you anymore. Our people are still holding on to the title or the concept or the construct of the color black. And they're going to have to let that go one time. If you claim that you're white, you should be adamant about living in the truth. Stop being comfortable living in a fucking lie. You live like the Wizard of Oz. You live on a yellow brick road. You live in a complete farce. Your reality is not real. You are in the matrix. You're not in Zion. You understand? You are part of Agent Smith's army. You're not in Zion. So you need to stop the cap. You know what I'm talking about? And that's what it is that we're talking about. And the truth don't have to apologize for nothing. So these people are shaking in their boots because they're not properly prepared. They haven't been groomed and conditioned to be in the Aquarian age, to be in a place where their fake ass world is falling down all around them. And you cannot hide the truth from people who have come here, right, in search of it.
Yo, bro,
we ain't our ancestors.
There you go. Listen, bro, they're having a very, very, very difficult time separating the attachment to a false identity.
It's called white fragility, brother Sharif, right?
Yeah.
So the white fragility means that y'all have problems going to sleep every night, and we don't. Those of us that are on the path and the mission, we can't wait for tomorrow, because like Glorilla told you niggas, every tomorrow is a better day. Woof. You understand? Like Glorilla told you, white folk. You know what I mean? Tomorrow was that day. So every day that we wake up, it's a new day, closer to Zion, closer to the truth, closer to this thing falling apart.
Y'all see, this book is a jewel for y'all. This book's called The Dogs of God by James Ruskin Jr.
It blew my mind when I read that.
Yo, is it crazy? Because guess what it describes? As you know, the very point in time we're talking about right now happened to us in reverse 500 some odd years ago.
Inquisition, right? Reconquista.
Doctrine of Discovery.
Doctrine of Discovery, Intercatera Divina. And they hit us over the head and put us in a shallow grave, turned our lights out. Now, you know what I mean? The time is up. Tick tock, tick tock. The clock is ticking, and y'all don't want to let go of this shit. And y'all killed all of the crabs in Alaska, but you don't want to talk about the dirt that y'all people have done. You don't want to take responsibility, but it's okay. Divine judgment is upon you. And there's nothing that you could do. There's no tweeting that you could do to stop it. You could cry all you want. Matter of fact, send me some of them tears. You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna bottle them shits up. You know what I'm talking about? And it don't have to be like that. Y'all just have to be comfortable being around the truth. because the truth is going to be like a 100-watt light bulb. It's going to blind you. So if you can't stand around the truth, then you got to keep it moving and whatnot. But don't talk to me about none of that stupidness. We're not falling for that. We're not apologizing for recognizing our motherfucking greatness. And if you can't, and if you are so inferior, if you have so many inferior complexes that you cannot stand to see us beating on our chest, popping our motherfucking collar, and standing in our proper persona, then you part of the problem.
Bro, Prophet Noble Drew Ali in the Moorish Science Temple of America instructs us. He says, behold a part of Allah within thee. Then he says, remember your own dignity.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Meaning it's a sin against ourselves.
That's right.
To look down on us.
Look down. That's right. Time is centrifugal.
Yes.
If Europeans were able to get taught correctly, and they wasn't, your people lied to you. If they taught you correctly, you would have known that we lifted y'all up.
Real talk, bro.
From 7-Eleven, that we were the ones that turned your lights on. We got you taking baths. We helped you discover lemon tree, get your fucking hair cut.
Come on,
know
bro.
What I mean? We introduced you to William Sonoma. We gave you forks and spoons.
Woo.
So how long do you think that the motherfucking nigga, the time is centrifugal? It got to come back around. Y'all owe us. What are we doing?
Flat out. Flat out.
You coming to the table empty-handed?
Right.
Read true history. Go and watch True Romance. Go and do the knowledge. We saved you.
Bro. Last night I was on the live or on Clubhouse last night. Y'all was cooking, by the way.
Ooh, yeah.
Y'all was cooking, by the way. Listen. This particular time period we're in right now. This is Scorpio season. Anyone who has an inkling of initiation knows that Scorpio season is initiation season.
Right. It is definitely initiation season.
That's
initiation of the ego. They want to see that book again. It's called Dogs of War.
The Dogs of God. Here we go.
James
Reston Jr.
Man, go on Amazon and get that right now. Yeah. That shit blew my mind. It shows you how we fell. It follows Christopher Columbus. It breaks down what the Inquisition was about with the Jesuits and whatnot. And it shows how the Moors fell from within. I tell people the concept of how we fell. Adonis killed Drake.
Come on, bro.
You understand what that means?
Yes, sir.
Drake's son, his name is Adonis, and he looks like a Nordic, right? He's amalgamated. His father is a Moor, right? Or his father is amalgamated. He's a Moor, right? Drake could pass as he's a Moor. His mother is a Ashkenazi, and his father's Moorish, right? Of Moorish descent.
That's right.
One generation it took for him to give birth to a child that looked like a straight up Euro, right? And then when we were in conflict back in those days, it was the progeny of the white women or the European women from the quote unquote harems and the concubines. They turned against their fathers. So Adonis killed Drake. That's how the Moors fell. That's the super fact. It happened in France. It happened in Spain. It happened in Portugal. It happened all across Europe when they rose up.
That's a fact, bro. That took place. But during commensurate to that time period, we at the rulership level, fighting each other, bro.
Right, infighting the different dynasties, the Almoravid, the Abbasid. You had a Senegalese West African dynasty that came in there. They got summoned to help the other Moorish dynasty with a war.
Yeah.
When they got into the Iberian Peninsula, they was like, "Oh, you got fat while I was
right."
They was like, "Y'all moist,
right?
Y'all became y'all in bed with these women? Oh no!" And then they came in. And they start chopping heads off, and they basically disposed the dynasty, and they took over. There was all of this infighting about who's tied into the bloodlines, the sacred bloodlines. So there was all of this infighting. You had Muhammad X Boabdil.
That's right.
He got snaked. Bob the Deal. He snaked the other Moorish leader, He gave the
That's
keys
right.
up to the kingdom. They showed that in the movie. What's the movie? It was a video game, and they adapted it into a movie.
You talking about I know you
where they had the apple.
Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed, right? The movie Assassin's Creed
Assassin's Creed's an initiation, by the way, people. But go ahead.
Straight up, right?
Yes, sir.
Because the assassins, right? The Hashishim, the assassins were the Moors and whatnot with the hash, and we were the original assassins. But
that's fact.
The movie Assassin's Creed, the newest one that came out, they tell you the whole story, because when dude is going back in time, he's going to fight at that battle between Queen Isabella, King Ferdinand versus Bobdale versus the Moors, the last battle of Alhambra, where they handed over the keys to the castle, and then the empire fell, right? And then who was in attendance? Christopher Columbus Cologne.
Bro, listen, I'm glad you brought that up. One of the things about this book and other books that write about this point in history is so important is that it directly ties the African transatlantic slave trade to real world history, people.
Right.
You understand? In other words, the beginning, and some of you may not have ever heard this before, the literal beginning of the African transatlantic slave trade did not start with Africans.
Right.
It didn't.
It was Moors.
Thank you, brother. It
started
with the Portuguese and the Catholic Church with a papal bull called Ilias Que Pro Divini, written by Eugene IV in 1442. Why is this date important? Because 1442, we were still ruling Spain.
Right.
You understand? And what it was it authorized the Portuguese Order of Marian Christ to begin raids on the west coast of Africa, and it's written out in the papal bull as a new crusade against the Moors.
Right, because everything the Portuguese touched was on the coast. That's how you got the Gold Coast, the Pepper Coast, the Ivory Coast. They were going up and down the coast. Then they locked in with Alfonso X and them in the Congo. Congo spelled with a K, right? Then they converted them. And then they allowed them into the interior and whatnot.
That's right, brother.
You feel me? And then while Portugal was doing their things, Spain and them were doing their things, according to Horace Butler.
Yes, sir.
In the book Rocks Cries Out, the Crusades, instead of going through what they call Turkey and Constantinople and over there, their crusades were in South America against the real Jerusalem, right? Which is Jerusalem, not Jerusalem, not Peru, right? Their crusades was over here, okay? And they came Pizarro, Hernando Cortez, Pizarro, all of those conquistadors with their Moorish soldiers, right? With the Moorish soldiers.
Can I give the people some receipts, bro?
Please do.
See that picture?
Yeah, we talked about this with it. They had our heads on pikes.
Now watch this. I'm gonna read something really quick, and then I'm gonna tell you where it comes from.
Yes.
Designed for the detection and the punishment of heretics.
Right, and heretics
the Spanish Inquisition was used as a giant pork barrel for the enrichment of the crown and the church and the inquisitors, while cheerfully eliminating dangerous radicals. Those who had been taught medicine, geography, rhetoric, chemistry, physics, mathematics, astronomy by Moorish philosophers in universities such as Cordova, whose libraries had been destroyed. It says, as a result, no Spaniard could write, speak, or even think without taking into consideration the torture acts and fires of the Holy Office. Hold on. Let me tell you where this picture came from, though. It says, as a deterrent to possible opposition to the Inquisition in New Spain. 34 Negroes, including 4 women, were hanged and decapitated in Mexico City.
Right. You already know.
That's the name of the book, people.
You already know. Now, for research purposes, you know, I've been tapping in with this.
Yes, sir.
Right here. Right.
Ooh, okay.
I've been seeing Bay. I've been tapping into
you pulled out the old crack. That's what you pulled out.
You feel me? Yahweh, dealing with the Hebrews. And even our good brother Ali Muhammad, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He has some stuff that he put out that's good for researchers.
For
So
sure.
I've been tapping in, and I'm like, I've been re-researching, like going back on shit that I forgot. And I'm like, yo, you always gotta remember.
Yes, sir, bro.
Right? Remember, put back together, revisit the books that you read when you first started your journey so you can measure your growth. Because remember, time is centrifugal. So this portal that we're in is probably due to some planetary alignments or the precession of an equinox, the reason why certain windows are open. But now we return to these windows. We climbing through it like Ezekiel on Friday.
Real talk.
And we dropping, we reestablishing ourselves and dropping gems because it's like, yo, we have a new class.
There you go, brother.
There's a new class of students. The classes that we were teaching in Blog Talk days with you, that's not the class that's here tonight.
That's real, bro.
We in a university, and this is a whole new class, a whole new class of students that have showed up that are eager. They hungry for the information.
For sure.
So it's like we feed them, and then we get them prepared and propped up and whatnot. We break the spells and the curses, and we help to patch up the holes that they have in their heads. Because before I received my Moorish information, good brother, I had holes in my head. It was almost like the puzzle. You know, if you get a puzzle from the $5 store or whatnot,
for sure.
And then the dog eats half of the puzzle, and then you try to put the puzzle together, but it's so That's where the education system had my brain. I could not put nothing together, bro. Because there was all of these patches and I couldn't make sense of anything.
I'm glad you said that. I want to say this to the viewers, right? First, I want to say this to the viewers. The Moorish movement is not designed to proselytize and make everybody members of the organization.
Right.
The Moorish movement is designed to restore this hidden history and culture to our people. There ain't no organization in America that teaches a Chinese, that makes a Chinese American Chinese. See what I'm saying? But there are organizations that will teach Chinese Americans more about who they already are. See what I'm saying?
Feel me?
Yes, sir.
Super fact.
Yes, sir. This is what this is supposed to do. You know, this is not Moorish history, is our history. And you don't have to join the organization to learn it. The organization is obligated to broadcast it the same way the Nebuchadnezzar broadcasts into the Matrix.
The same way that the Nebuchadnezzar sent out signals. Remember,
pirate signal, bro.
It was pirate signals. He was on the dark web. In the beginning of the movie, it opens up. Neo is on like Silk Road. He's jogging on the dark web. He's not on the www because they show how he accesses it, it's almost like he's on an onion router. It's almost like he's on a whole nother quote unquote web. And then he hears the voice, similar to how we had Blog Talk Radio back in the days. People were getting the information by hearing it, and it was drawing them to Harlem. It was drawing them to LIU. It was drawing them to National Black Theater and all of these other places and whatnot. It was giving them the signal, and they were following that. And then they were meeting Morpheus in the flesh.
Come on,
right?
brother.
And then it started to edify them, and they started their journey, and it created master teachers, bro. You feel me? And master students who now, who steered the consciousness of the planet.
Yes, sir.
The story that story gets, that's one of the more epic stories of this century. What took place with the awakening of our people post 9/11. That's
real, bro.
It is an underground story, but the significance of it is unparalleled at this point, especially with this old paradigm falling on its sword, the deaf culture, and all of the other things that we subscribe to. We were the battery. We fed it. We gave it its quote unquote strength. But the more of us that wake up, the faster it falls. Why do you think it's falling and folding upon itself? It's because they got chicken heads that woke up and what they call thoughts turned into thoughtices, turned into goddesses, right? So the batteries that were powering this defunct ass system are now switching on them, and it can't stand up because we can't obey two masters at once.
There you go, bro. Each one of us is a Nebuchadnezzar.
Each one.
You know, each one of us is broadcasting or should be broadcasting into the iconosphere.
Wow.
And when I mean the iconosphere, follow me, people. When I mean the iconosphere, I mean the higher fields of consciousness and experience where the soul's unmanifest are about to remanifest. You understand? Here's a quick natural history reality. There's a particular monkey. I taught about this in Sunday school last week. There's a particular monkey that lives in Japan that lives right near the ocean.
Right.
And they dig up these potatoes. And you know, animals share a group spirit. We call it instinct.
Right.
Because the full indwelled ego is not fully manifest in them. So they have instinct. That being said, it's in their instinct to dig up these potatoes. They dig the potatoes up. They brush the dirt off and eat them. That's what they do.
Right.
When she was near the water, this one particular mother monkey was near the water, and they're deathly scared of the water.
Mm-hmm.
She dropped accidentally one of the potatoes in the water and just instinctively grabbed it. Ate it. One, it was cleaner than it normally is.
Right.
Two, it had the salt water on it, so it had the salty taste.
Right.
Follow me. She tried to teach it to the other monkeys. They wasn't trying to hear her. But not only when she had babies, but the next generation of babies came into the world knowing it instinctively.
Embossed epigenetics embossed on their DNA.
Yes.
So when we give birth to our seeds and we proclaim that they are going to be greater than us, when we give birth to these star seeds and we proclaim that this child will be greater than me, because if I had the child when I was awakened and I know where I'm at spiritually and mentally, I know that when I was born, my peoples wasn't on that level. Right. So how can't the child be greater than me? It's going to be greater than me because when I created it with his or her mother, you know what I mean? We were at a frequency that justified that.
Yes. Okay. Let's talk about that. Your frequency and the mother frequency, you had grown a pace so that you're now suitable to create a container that would fit an elevated soul coming back to continue their work.
Right. Like a 3 liter versus a carton. Right. So this 3 liter, this vessel now could be filled up with so much. You dig what I'm saying? So much potential, so much light. You know what I mean? So much probabilities and whatnot. So whereas if nurtured, they're going to do what they've been sent here to do. What they came here to do. Right.
A little bit about myself. I'll tell the listeners. You already know this, bro.
Right.
I belong to a number of, and I'm not talking about no mail order stuff. I belong to a number of very real secret orders. One in particular, I will quote the current hierophant of the objective of the order. The order is to preserve and to pass on the Afro-Atlantean current. And this particular hierophant states that this current, or the old Atlantean priesthood, is reincarnating at present in America in bodies of African and mixed African European descent.
Right. Look at all of the movies that are coming out. Once we're gonna live in a post Black Panther world after 11/11, they're going to usher in this whole Atlantean dynamic that I don't think has ever been seen in the movies with Prince Namor, right? And Namor backward is Mason.
Right.
Do the math, y'all. Prince Namor, the main villain that they have in this new Black Panther movie, backwards, Prince Mason. So they're an Atlantean, quote unquote, civilization. Then right after that, Avatar 2. They're dealing with the water world, with the Atlanteans. Like Blue Pill said on Brother Rich's channel last night, we're Nomo sapiens. We're not Homo sapiens. We're Nomo sapiens. We were birthed in a sack of water, bro.
Come on, bro. We're being, as you already know, media is in this sense is in their own way conditioning the masses to accept breakaway civilization. There are people at present already living in the real hereafter.
Oh, for sure. One of the new, talking about New World Tech and whatnot.
Yes.
I have a list of all of the new cities that are being constructed.
Right.
It's not hyperbole.
Right.
This is not speculation. This is not objective and whatnot.
Right.
This is real life. There's a list of new cities that are being built before your very eyes. And even Akon has his own city being constructed and whatnot, regardless of what anybody feels about him.
Correct.
Nobody asked you.
Nobody asked.
You know what I mean? That doesn't change what the fuck he's out there doing.
Right.
And the fact that he's in alignment to be, to have his name on a whole, on a smart city.
Even allowed to hear of the possibility of privatized breakaway civilization cities.
Can I share with you the name of some of the future smart cities?
Please, bro, please.
Okay, so they have something called Net City in China. They have something called Woven City in Japan. Y'all can look every single one of these titles up. They're all in production as we speak. These are futuristic smart cities. Right. You will not be able to go into these smart cities if your social credit is not right. Kanye West will not be invited into any of these cities. He's going to have to build his own city, because when you saw JP Morgan drop him, that was the beginning of the social credit system in America, and you niggas didn't even oppose to that. So why do I feel? Why do you think that y'all gonna say anything when they're gonna introduce? They already that's it right there. How can a bank drop somebody for what they said personally? Do the banks drop niggas when they get convicted of murder?
Come on, bro. See,
talk to me.
You already know China has already openly talked about their social credit system.
No, China already implemented their social. Not just talked about it. Them people living under it. Yep. I'm gonna play a clip in a minute from a commercial to the lecture I just did to show the people what the social credit system is. So in a social credit system, you talk about the government. You question who's the real Jew. You know what I mean? You don't go along with the LBGT agenda. All of that will plummet your social credit score to 0, right? You can't get on a plane. You got to sit in the back of the Amtrak. You might even have to only take the China bus. You can't go through certain cities. You can't shop at Saks. You know what I mean? They're going to implement all of that shit for the quote unquote consumer slaves. They're going to want to kill themselves and do everything in their power to be a part of this new system. Akon City, Senegal, Masjar, United Arab Emirates, Starbase. They're building that in Texas.
Yes.
Right? Neom, Neom, Saudi Arabia. Stop playing with me. While they got our people marching and focusing on 800 years ago, 400 years ago, identifying themselves as the help, right? Being all emotional about shit that don't got nothing to do with you. They out here building cars that drive themselves, smart cities, internet of all things, right?
Yep.
And people is cool. They just think that they're gonna fit in somewhere. Oh, I'm gonna go over there and twerk. I'm gonna be a stripper in one of them cities. No, nigga.
Nah.
You had the opportunity to be an owner. You had the opportunity to be a developer. You had the opportunity to put your hat in a pot and build a whole new cities for your progeny, so your children don't have to get eaten up in these goddamn killing fields.
That's real, bro. That's real. That's real. That's real. This is where we are, listen, the fact that you could read about cities and the fact that you could tell us all about cities across the world, that are being built, basically look at it this way, people. You have the term disclosure, right?
Right.
Equate that term with the biblical term revelations.
Right.
But it's the same thing.
Same thing.
Equate heaven and the word hereafter with post-disclosure life.
Right.
Same thing. The exact same thing, people.
Matter of fact, I'm going to drop it right now in the chat, the link to a YouTube where when y'all finish watching this, y'all can go and watch the YouTube of all of the cities that are being built in the real time, right? While people are denying that we are currently in the future.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if we're in the future, I don't want to have conversations and speculations. I don't want to have these subjective conversations about what was taking place when you niggas don't even know what was taking place in the 80s. There's still arguments about who started hip hop and whatnot. People are not even hip to what was going on in the tunnel. You want to talk to me about what we was doing in Moorish Spain or the Iberian Peninsula, or you want to try to talk about how you was a slave and what boat you came on, and ain't nobody showed you one boat yet. I was watching a documentary on Netflix called about the Clotilla, right? In Africa town, and these niggas showed 2 pieces of wood, bro. I was like, I emailed Netflix like, yo, can I get my time back, bro? Because I could have been reading one of these books from Taj. Like, y'all mean to tell me I wasted an hour and change just to see some wood come up from under the water? Like, I'm talking about 2 planks. It didn't have no insignia on it, no indication whatsoever that it was from a ship. These people must think that I'm retarded.
Right.
You know, you could take a camera underwater these days. The iPhone is waterproof. You know what I mean? You don't even need the big multi-thousand. You could take an iPhone camera and be like, you see right there? That's where the slaves was.
Right.
Like, I'm like, stop playing with me.
Real talk. But you had said earlier, bro, again about having the gaps. You know, like in certain science fiction movies where they talk about time travel and they go in the past and they change something in the past and all of a sudden everything in the present changes.
Right.
That literally happens when you correct your knowledge of history.
Right.
The narrative changes immediately in the present.
Because time is centrifugal and it's all occurring at once.
Come on,
so
bro.
When you solve the mysteries and you break the falsehoods, like I'm sharing with whoever that white person was in the chat, when you destroy that shit, you now terraform and change everything in present day. The reason why we're suffering in present day and everything changed is when niggas watch Roots. It terraformed everything. When they went and when they accepted the slave narrative, it changed everything overnight. It cursed us. You understand? It was a humongous curse because everybody accepted that shit for law, and it wasn't law. It wasn't law. It wasn't real. He was an agent. He worked for the feds, and he stole that goddamn story. He got sued in court, but nobody want to talk about that.
Come on, bro. We have in our literature, we say what people represent the lower self. Answer: those who were cast out of the holy city and those who accepted their teaching. When you accept the wrong narrative, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
You playing for the other team now. When you accept the narrative that all of our people are here and our history began with slavery, you playing for the other team.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Playing for the other team. And that's that.
Out of pocket. You completely out of pocket.
Yep.
And you know, you worse than Kanye.
Yeah. And I get it when you don't know any better. Understood.
Ignorance of the law is no excuse though.
Right.
Ignorant, you got a supercomputer in your pocket, bro. You know when you have that phantom shit where you think that it's vibrating in your pocket and it don't even be in your pocket?
Right.
Well, the shit needs to vibrate against your head and be like, go to Google, nigga, and go do some deep diving.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
Do some deep diving.
That's real, bro. That's real.
I don't. People talk about the Emmett Till story. Look, fam, I'm not finna do your trauma porn with you. I don't want to hug you niggas. I don't want to cry with you. I don't want to hold your hand. I don't want to do none of that. Because if you really care about Emmett Till, you will go drill that white lady in a nursing home and stop playing with me. You will go pull her ass out of the nursing home and world star her. Other than that, stop the cap. Don't talk to me about none of that. How dare they drop a movie about Emmett Till and y'all let that white lady, she's still alive, and nobody putting hands and feet on her. But on World Star, they knocking on people's door and beating their mama and their grandmama up to get to their ops. Stop playing with me. They shot up this dude in Alabama's and his honeycomb, his grandmama and them, and the grandfather. They shot the house up and blew it up. Shot up they fucking oxygen tanks and blew the house up. But y'all want to talk to me about the Emmett Till movie? The Emmett Till movie? Look, the Emmett Till set off the civil rights. The Emmett Till murder set off the civil rights.
Right.
The Black Power shit proceeded that.
Right.
The whole Panthers, BG, Black Guerrilla family, Asada broke out of jail. You know what I mean? They got Panthers that's coming home for being in a box for 50 years. And that shit started before that. So that whole period of time, she been alive.
Right.
Stop playing with me.
Right.
And nobody did nothing to her. But y'all like, yo, this is what started the civil rights. That civil rights shit is where you fell. When them niggas went marching and whatnot and got their caps together, that's when we went backwards, if you ask me. Because prior to that, we had black towns. We had melanated towns. We had melanated inventors. We had acres. We had estates. We didn't have towns. We had individuals that was like, oh yeah, my grandmama and them owned 300 acres.
Real talk.
Right?
We had Wilmington, North Carolina. We had
Wilmington, North Carolina. Cape Fear, the movie Cape Fear. They were dumping out the Wilmington massacre. Yes. When the first coup d'etat in America, the only coup d'etat, because people is bringing up Black Wall Street. Nigga, that wasn't a coup d'etat. That was a massacre, but they didn't switch the government by bombing that place. A coup d'etat is almost when if January 6th was successful and they restored Trump and hung Nancy Pelosi and them in front of the people and then said, I dare y'all to say something.
North Carolina.
That's what took place in Wilmington, right?
In 1898.
In 1898, they massacred the fusion government that was consisting of Black Republicans and Europeans together. And then they buried it for 100 years to whereas niggas in North Carolina couldn't even say anything about it. Stop playing with me.
Right.
You know I get worked up.
Right.
I'm gonna turn into a drill rapper I'm a drill rapper to ignorance. That's what happened. Yep. And then they dumped the bodies in Cape Fear. Thousands of bodies of our people. What are you saying?
Right.
And that's what caused what is known as the Deep South today. After they disposed of our government in Wilmington, they locked in and created the good old boy network, and then they began to take the South back over. And then the lost cause took over, and then they restored the Confederacy, and then Black Wall Street happens in 1920 because they were feeling themselves. Rosewood burns down. Black Wall Street, Tulsa burns down. You have the race riots, Red Summer and whatnot. Stop playing, bro. They've been doing this to our people, bro.
Exactly.
So we were not distracted. We was building houses with our hands.
Yep.
The men were out there handling business, standing on everything. Because they had to lynch the brothers. Because they wasn't standing down. Them lynchings is revenge killings.
That's fact. Now, okay. This is a little off topic, but I want to share it. You bring up a huge point. Those were vengeance killings. They were vengeance killings for a number of reasons, but one of the main reasons, get this book. Hold on. Here we go. The book is called The Bloody Shirt.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I like your
when the South physically lost the Civil War. Physically lost, right?
Right.
The 14th and 15th Amendments were force ratified and federal troops placed in the southern states. There's a third thing that took place that's not talked about too publicly. The participants of the rebellion, in other words, the former Confederates, temporarily lost their voting rights.
Right.
This is how 60% of the southern state legislatures by 1870 looked like you and me. This is how Black Wall Street became possible, because government is management. And what do they manage? They manage the public money.
Right. And the books, the ledgers. right? And the budgets.
Yes.
Right? This is another good read too.
Hidden History. That's a mean book. Yes, sir.
Black African, Colored African, and African American.
That's a mean book.
DJ
right
Jones. Yeah. Yes. You feel me?
That's a mean.
Yeah, mean book. So we getting into our studies, bro. We edifying ourselves. Look at this, though.
What you got?
This is from.
Woo.
Look, Christie's, right? Like Sotheby's.
That's crazy.
That's one of those Harlem licks. You know what I'm saying? You stick around long enough, you hit a lick.
That's A. Rashid caliber right there.
I think that might be a Rashid pass down. You know what I'm saying? It might be an alley-oop from AA because I'm not gonna give up his sources, but where he's at in LA, bro, we need to just fly you out there, but you got to come out there with a budget.
Okay.
When he's at in LA, for anybody that is a scholar or information gatherer,
yes, sir.
It's like this nigga lives in Macy's, bro. For low lifes, it's like he lives in the polo section, and he lives one door down from the polo section, and he has the keys to Macy's anytime he wants to go in there and just throw a sweater on.
Like that.
You know what I mean? That's how crazy it is. Where he's at, his setup, oh my goodness. I'm like, yo, you just gotta just wake up every day and just go and feed yourself.
That's
like,
crazy.
Bro,
I gotta go down there. I gotta get to LA.
Locked in, my genius.
Wow.
But do you want to talk more about the old world, the Moorish?
Let's do it, bro. Yeah. I mean, we touched on it a little bit, but I want for the listeners and the viewers to really understand, get a larger picture. It's not just technology. You all, I'm sure, have heard of the word transhumanism. It's a big word being thrown around nowadays. But in the West, transhumanism really is synonymous for cyborg technology.
Right.
In other words,
mixture.
A meshing of human and machine. See, we're not with that. See, we're really talking about, in this respect, the Matrix itself, because the whole thing was, who's going to lead, humans
or machines?
Right.
It was a battle between human and machine.
And the Oracle at one point said, "Hey, we can do it together." See? She
compromised, right? Because she was sitting with the architect at the end, like they was on a fucking Tinder date.
And their whole thing was exactly. See what I'm saying? Now, let's see. Now, with us, and this is a war. This is a part of the ideological war. The question now becomes, okay, here we go. Let's go back. Let's talk about the foundation of European psychology. Listeners, viewers, this is so important.
Okay.
The foundation of Western psychology started with Descartes. Anybody who's taken a psychology class knows this. Right. Descartes, the foundation of Western psychology was a search for proof of the human soul.
Right.
So Descartes is talking to Queen Elizabeth, saying he's going to prove it. She said, you can't prove it. He gets frustrated. He goes home. He says, all right, check this out. I'm just going to sit here until it comes to me. And he sat and he sat. Then finally, he recognizes the fact that he's thinking. Hence the very famous Latin term, cogito ergo sum, meaning I think, therefore I am.
I am.
He was like, yes. He went back to her with the proof. He was like, I got proof because I'm thinking. Know what she said to counter him? I can't see your thoughts. Now, hence what we have in the West that many of us in the so-called woke community are infected by is this. If we can't touch, taste, smell, hear, or feel it, it's not real. That's not science, people. That's called scientism. And in short, scientism did to science what the Nicene Council did to the teachings of Jesus. And that's just the truth. Scientism did to science what Constantine did to Jesus.
Mm,
It's the truth.
I feel
Because,
you on that.
follow me, if you can't, the purpose of science is to know what was previously unknown.
That's a fact.
If you're telling me that nothing outside of my five senses can be known, then you just defeated science, haven't you?
And you have, you definitely have.
You see that?
And that breeds a level of arrogance.
Yes.
Right? That breeds a level of inferiority complex because you can't be wrong. You do everything in your power to prove that nothing exists outside of you. You look at yourself, that created what is known as white superiority, even though that is a misnomer and it doesn't exist. How could they ever tell you that there's life outside of this planet? If they were to fully admit that, then their status on the quote unquote hierarchy pyramid, you know what I mean, begins to get diminished. There's somebody above them. How could they admit that the computers are sentient and went live and whatnot? How could they say that the AI, artificial intelligence, is more intelligent than them? Once they admit that transhumanism is a thing, right? Once they admit that, then they lose their status as being the quote unquote masters of the universe.
Now let's go take it even. What you said is so powerful. Let's take it even simpler. This is why an artificial history of up from slavery had to be created for you, because if they knew, if you knew, if we knew,
because you taught them, you were the one debating them. They had problems with you. Henceforth, why they created the Inquisition. Like you said, when you read, you would get, if you were a heretic would be me right now and you. We're scholars, and we're denying the shit that the white boy just wrote in the chat. He would have ran to the people and been like, he would have showed them the clip of what I said to him, the same way that they run, when I'm on Instagram and I upload something that's too fiery. They run and report it to the rest of the Poindexters. They run with my posts and they report me. Or if they run, or the algorithm is perusing through the internet or perusing through YouTube, like the Sentinel was perusing through the Matrix looking for Zion. And once they find a Nebuchadnezzar or anything that they see that's not a part of that system, they censored it, they attacked it and deleted it and whatnot. That is the exact same thing that's going on right now with this censorship on this internet, because we can't say what we really want to say, and we have to watch our words, especially during the time of the Jabbington and whatnot. Our tongues were tied because scientism was in effect, and it was catching bodies and whatnot, and they was like, turn the other cheek while we drill these niggas. Turn the other cheek. And they drilled a whole bunch of our people. And y'all niggas still ain't say nothing about that. You still want to go along and get along. And I'm like, that's how you clap back. That's how you honor your ancestors. They was washing up grandparents. But whatever.
See,
don't talk to me about revolution though. How about that? Just sock it in my pocket. We could party. You know what I mean? Fuck it. We're gonna build a lounge. Let's do some TikTok dances. But that serious shit, that work, that smoke, y'all don't want it.
Nah.
It's evident. Y'all not ready for that. And I'm not judging, I'm smudging, but don't even have that conversation with me right now.
Right.
Don't.
Right.
Because I didn't see one doctor in a white coat get world starred through that whole thing. But the drilling in the hood kicked up and they killing all of the rappers. But I didn't see one dude trying to push a needle get world starred.
Right.
They're not ready.
Not ready. But you know what else we're not ready for too? And again, you've already spoken to this, and it's a foregone conclusion. We're not ready. This whole thing is falling down. We're not ready to stand up to be the only game in town when the smoke clears.
Not at all.
See what I'm saying?
Not properly prepared. Haven't been groomed.
Right.
Still arguing.
That's why
still in doubt.
That's why I gave so much. And I still give so much honor to what you and the twin have done in building an ecosystem, bro.
But let me share something with you about what you did. We did, but we were allowed to do that. You know what I mean? And I was gonna ask you, and I was gonna ask you in private, but I'm gonna ask you in public. Sure. Like, do you get weekly cash apps from the Moors for how you saved the kingdom? in the debate back in the days against Brother Reggie? Like, do you get daily cash app from everybody that's claiming more all of a sudden because now it's safe to come outside? But when you was at war, niggas was taking, they was turning their fezzes into chicken buckets.
So, bro,
they was fezzes on eBay, bro. They was fezzes on eBay. Facts. So you went to war, and that was a decisive battle that changed the tides and whatnot, and pulled our people into a better place. A lot of the people here don't even know what I'm talking about because they got onto this consciousness after the smoke cleared. But to add context, I'm gonna share with y'all in 2016. There was a frequency inside of consciousness during the debate era.
I'm grabbing a drink. Keep talking.
Right, where it was damn near almost, it was almost like gang banging. You know what I mean? It almost got violent, like drill rap. You feel me? Niggas had ops, and they was banging on the Moors, something serious in Harlem. I'm talking about, it was disgusting to the point where I even had to throw my hat in the ring. I was about to get physical and whatnot. Because I was like, I can't take it no more. I was being neutral and whatnot, but it just got out of hand, bro. And this man right here stepped up and put the whole nation on his back. And he went into a debate and he caught a body. I'm talking about he destroyed his opponent. He destroyed his opponent. Right.
I gotta tell you, bro, and I tell all the watchers, I was the one on the stage. Shout out to, we have a research team that we put together called Ali's Men. Shout out to Ali's Men. That was definitely a team effort. Shout out to my brother Ishmael Bey. He played a part. Shout out to Amin Ra. He played a part on it. Shout out to Ishmael Bey. Yeah. And and some other brothers too, that at the time were part of Ali's Men. But let's just say we knew, somebody said it was a setup. Yeah. And we walked into it anyway.
Right.
We walked into it anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what time it is when the opposing side is wearing bulletproof vests.
Right. Like I said to everybody here, the tension was thicker than an IG model, right? Yes, Dr. Wesley, he changed the tides against when he did what he did to Natural Tahuti. I remember it clearly. It was 2008, crazy. November the 7th. Right. It was on my son's birthday party. I got in trouble with my son's mother because we lived right down the block on 129th Street in Harlem, and they was debating. I think it was the O'Berry Dempsey, or it was the school where the guard bodies is on 127.
Yeah. Harriet Tubman. It was Harriet Tubman.
So me and Blue was like, yo, I'll be right back. We playing pin the tail on a donkey. So we went to the debate. We was playing back and forth, and I had to see it. That was when they chased Sarah Sutton out the auditorium and whatnot. Yeah, it was an ugly day for.
You know what else, too, brother? You brought up Wesley. Shout out to my brother. That's my brother and comrade in arms with Dr. Wesley Muhammad. We made some other history. You were present too.
Yeah, I was locked in.
Yeah, and that was, the first time a representative of the Moorish Science Temple of America and the Nation of Islam joined together on the stage.
Right. What was that y'all locked in for?
It was called The Sun Rises in the West.
Oh, at the National Black Theater.
I
remember that. And that's when homie tried to come in. What's my dude? Shaka Atmos.
Yes, sir.
You feel me?
But what we were demonstrating was from the Nation of Islam perspective and the Moorish Science of America perspective was a celebration of our expression of Islam. That's not Saudi Arabianism. That's not anything of that. It's a Saudi, back on this consciousness thing. It's a religious narrative that does not exclude ourselves from deity.
That's right. And
that's what it was.
And it was a powerful demonstration because I said it before. I even petitioned the NOI to allow me to go in there and teach the students the Moorish history from the antiquity aspect. Because I'm like, wait, y'all a nation of Islam. So then I'm asking questions about, 7-Eleven, the Moors, all of that. They like Noble Drew Ali. I'm like, no, the Moors who kicked off this Islamic shit, who probably are your ancestors. If you repping this Islamic shit right now, like how y'all don't know about that?
Right.
So I'm like, let me in.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm banging on the door.
Right.
But rest in peace. They did. Rest in peace, my good Kevin Muhammad.
Yeah.
Out of Mosque Number 7. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
He is a legend. He always had a spot for me in blue. I was talking on a live on Instagram earlier, and I was sharing with the audience how I was gonna sign up to the NOI in 2014 when my daughter was born. Because I asked her mother, I was like, yo, what's one thing that I could do to keep us together? And she was like, I want you to sign up to the Nation of Islam.
Wow.
I was like, shit, that's heavy
that's
there.
Heavy.
Like,
that's a commitment.
Yo, bro, I was like, that's a big commitment.
You just reminded me, we got a lot of history, bro.
Oh, no,
you remember back in 04, the 5 Point Street Leadership Summit we did in Harlem?
Yes.
And the nation was present. The Final Call wrote it up. You remember all of that?
I remember that. That was the early beginnings. Damn. and then did you come to class in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
When we used to be in BK?
Yeah.
On Green?
On Green.
Right.
That's right.
You know
That's right. Remember Matea
and all of them. I remember you had the DVD, it wasn't even DVDs, you had a VHS out, and your queen was with you.
Yes, sir.
And you was going in on the studies and whatnot.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I was like, damn, this brother is deep.
We go back, bro. But listen, back
so real quick, I'm just sharing real quick.
Oh, do it. Please.
Like they have the movie The Adjustment Bureau, or now they're introducing quantum inside of like the Marvel Universe.
Right.
That debate was so decisive that it steered our history, right? And this community.
It did.
Because if you had lost that debate and got washed up, right? If the Moors would have got trampled like they did when the Sarah Sutin and Alim debate happened in 2009, you came back, I think 9 or 8 years later. You redeemed the empire.
Yes, sir.
And it gave these people, so the young Moors that are online, trolling people about the word black and other little things and like doing dumb shit, they don't even know how easy that they have it. They don't even know the contributions that
why it's easy for them to do that now.
Why it's even easier why they don't even got that pressure on them like that. So they wasting time and they're being very frivolous, where they could have really been doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they're not as effective as they could have been.
Yeah.
But I think it's the lack of leadership.
It's that. And you know what else too, brother? You see, what you said was deep. We have more tools in our toolkit than just a hammer. And I'm talking to the members of the Moorish movement right now. We have to be skillful in our use of what we have. Not everything needs a hammer. We want to run and say nationality, when many, and I'm being very critical, I'm sorry, many of us can't explain what nationality is. And I'm talking about in the movement.
Right.
Or even better, we have an inability, many of us, to make it relevant to current issues.
Right. You feel me?
Yeah.
Don't even be missing all of the alley-oops, all of the tie-ins. Like they not, you know what I mean? Not sharp enough to fold the worlds on top of each other. You know what I mean? And that shows where the studying. It's a lot of regurgitation of the Circle 7. There's a lot of religiosity taking place. And there's a lot of man worship taking place. And it is what it is. I'm observing. I'm an objective observer, but I'm like, they need to be hitting your Cash App, just like how Social Security takes care of 401k and whatnot. You should be compensated. No, because when warriors go to war and they save a kingdom, they're supposed to come back to that village or that kingdom and they become statesmen aldermen, and they're taken care of forever from all the way back in the days, and it should be like that right now. So you were a warrior scholar. You went into warrior mode. A lot of the people may be unfamiliar with your martial arts background. You want to share that with them?
Yeah, I'm a lifetime martial artist, man. You know, and one of the things about that is that I'll just say this real quick about it. I won't go into a lot of detail about that. I'm a lifetime martial artist. Guess what? Just like, you know, I'll put it like this: getting punched in the face is an occupational hazard. I'm good with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm good with it. You know, it's just what we do, and it's something to be expected. So I'm good with. I can take it like I can give it. You know, and for the warrior, to your point earlier about the warrior thing, and as it relates to martial arts and all of that, yo, the objective isn't the win. The objective is the experience. Most people nowadays, when they put their hands up, they don't want to fight. They want a victim.
Right.
They want a victim. They don't want to fight. They don't want that experience.
Right.
They want to get to the end real quick and hope the end's in their favor. The real
fighter brings
the experience. The outcome is inconsequential. Because I'll put it like this: in the real world, in the extreme, when it comes to conflict, only one of the two gets to improve.
Wow.
The other one gets recycled, has to do it all over again.
Right.
See what I'm saying? And so, back to the debate. You know what a win was for us? Presenting Prophet Noble Drew Ali's program in an intelligent way to an audience who had never heard it done so.
Right.
That was our win.
Articulate it the right way.
Yes, that was our win. So, however it turned out, if we got the opportunity to do that, we were good. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That was our win for us. We weren't looking to, wash Reggie up this, that, and the third. Although come on, you know, we're not. We have a saying in martial arts in our school: never sell, but if somebody else is selling, you buy. We came to buy, so we wasn't coming half cocked. We came with it. You know what I mean? We came with it. So it's like if you're gonna whoop us, right? We're gonna make you whoop us. We're gonna make you whoop us. It won't be easy. You know what I mean? It won't be easy. So I'm a lifetime martial artist, meaning I live that. I live that culture. I live the culture of the engagement to elevate. The engagement to elevate. That's manhood, and the highest expression of manhood is godhood. You see what I'm saying? That's what it is. You know, and so that is another thing that put our people to sleep when it comes to religion, when it comes to philosophy, etc. When we accepted the teachings of the lower self.
Look at what this P-Brain just said. Are you on Sarnetta's team or the Moors? I'm confused. In 2022. You feel me? That's what I'm saying. That's what this YouTube era, and that's what comes out of it.
Brother, they're looking to be entertained.
No, they're looking for WWF, WWE. They want to trade us like baseball trading cards.
Yep.
They think this is a fucking video game.
They think it's a video game.
Are you Team Capcom, like Marvel versus nigga? If you don't, to be honest with you, if anybody ever paid attention to my demonstration on 125th Street, it was a protagonist-antagonist relationship from day one.
Right.
I was standing on the side of the truth, and they was not standing on the side of the truth. I was standing on the side of righteousness, and somebody else was standing on the side of unrighteousness. I was standing on the side of, the Moorish paradigm.
Right.
The fact that we should be building and unifying. The fact that we should be dealing with facts, food, art, clothing, technology, and shelter.
Come on.
I presented the evolution will be digitized, trying to help our people level up with Bitcoin back in 2014, 15. And then other people wanted to argue. They wanted to rob people. They wanted to not pay the other lecturers for their intellectual property. It was a lot of fuckery taking place. And there was a lot of fallouts that took place behind the camera, in front of the camera. So to be honest with you, I don't know what the fuck y'all was watching. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
I was the balance. And the
Bro,
minute that I got up out that picture, the whole shit fell apart. So, you know,
that's a fact.
Like,
that's a fact. But you
gotta
know,
pay attention.
but some of us were there actually, as opposed to
Right.
watching it on YouTube. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Some of us were actually there. I was there when you were about to knock Reggie's block off for talking a little reckless on 125th Street. I was there. You see what I'm saying? I was there physically. Crazy. You see, you know, that was where he took the marketing strategy a little too far.
Just a little too, you know what I mean? Just a little too far. He had a battery in his back.
Right.
And he was doing the dirty work for people who always was playing behind the Wizard of Oz, who was always behind the curtain, playing the devil's advocate, and being very divisive.
Right.
And for anybody that was, you know, drunk and blind and easily manipulated, they were on YouTube on some puppeteer shit. And even looking back on it, it abhors, it's a sick sight. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And when I think about how far this whole community would have been, and where this whole movement would have been, and where our master teachers would have been, I'm like, damn, bro, so much potential was lost.
Yes.
So much. So we're really playing catch up at the end of the day. And then a bomb went off, and then it gave birth to, you know, remember the Gremlins? Where they fed Stripe after fucking 12, and they poured that water on Gizmo's back, and then all of the Gremlins popped out, and it was striping them, and they wasn't as cute. It wasn't as cute as Gizmo.
Not
That's all of the YouTube channels that started popping out of the back of this one person, and it became the Gremlin. So there's a Gremlin infestation on YouTube of a bunch of channels that are like spam channels, troll channels, weirdo channels. You know what I mean? Channels that are not, nobody is feeding the people nothing but gossip, chatty patty ass shit. Nobody's really teaching. Nobody's bringing profound information. So the people that are on YouTube that are even making their mark, they're not affiliated with that shit, none whatsoever. Then the 19 Keys of the world, the Derek Graces of the world, the Rizza Islams, the Ben X's, all of them came through our quote unquote funnel and whatnot. They came through our funnel, and we didn't even have to tell them what not to do. They already knew what not to do. So when that ship was sinking, a whole new ship was pulling in on the ports, and then they took over.
Real talk. That's what happened.
So all of these troll channels where motherfuckers is just of a lower frequency, damn near smoking crack on YouTube and just talking out of their missing tooth and whatnot, niggas ran to those channels, and then when you see the students in the streets, right? They got dried up perms and they talking to themselves.
Right.
You niggas did not, the information did not level you up. It didn't clean you up. You went from halfway classy back to ashy, right? So what are you talking about? You could tell the quality of the information by how the students show up.
It's the truth, brother. That's the truth. That's the truth.
You got more of these fake scholars in jail than I've ever seen.
Right.
It's more niggas in jail than rappers in jail right now in this community. What you talking about?
That's real. That's real.
That never was the case.
No.
Tahuti was the first one to go down. They gave him 40 years.
Oof.
Right. Salute to Natural Tahuti, but he was the first casualty. And the dominoes fell completely after that.
That's right. That's right. That's
so you judge people by the fruit that they produce.
Right.
Come on now. But
right.
Anyway.
This is the truth, bro. This is the truth. You know, I don't, you know, you spelled it out right there. I mean, spelled it out.
Ain't none of them standing no more. Everybody's defunct. Everybody's lights is turned out. What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. The whole fucking the whole house went up.
Mm-hmm.
Niggas don't want to hear from nobody.
Nope.
From that era.
Nope. Or on that vibration.
Yeah, how your legs ain't strong enough You could have ran it up in 2020. It was so much to talk about. Niggas could have ran it up at 21, 22, but nobody wants to hear none of that shit that be coming out of the mouths of these fake ass dudes that was claiming to be whatever they was claiming.
Right. We're talking about the whole taking consciousness or not seeing consciousness as a technology. I want to do an experiment with the listeners and the watchers, right? I want them to verbally repeat me. I'm going to say 5 words: love, truth, peace, freedom,
and justice.
Okay. I said those words. You heard them with your ear. I said it with my mouth. I made sound. Now what I want you to do is do the exact same thing in your head. I'm going to say it. You're going to repeat it in here. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Here's the question I want you to think about. There's a couple questions. One, did you hear me? Second question, with what? With what? What ears heard me?
Right.
No, I'm sorry. Let me back up. Let me ask the right question. Did you hear yourself?
Right. It's your mind.
Right.
Man, it's mine.
You yourself. The answer is yes. The next question is, with what? When you didn't make a sound.
Right. Is there an inner mouth somewhere?
Here's the third question, which is even deeper. Who was talking and who was listening?
You can't do it at the same time.
So you just proved to yourself that there is a non-physical part of you that's real, that is not dependent on your 5 senses.
Facts.
See?
Facts.
Real science includes consciousness in the experiment. In the West, they have what's called Occam's razor, where it's like, nope, the observer affects the thing observed. Therefore, you cannot have the observer as a part of the experiment. That's the excuse.
Right.
You just rendered it. You just took the engine out the car.
Right.
See what I'm saying? You just took the engine out the car. That is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad referred to when he said they put the Asiatic man to sleep.
Right. In a shallow grave.
You see what I'm saying? European psychology that created the New World took that out of the narrative.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Took that out of the narrative. Now, do you know in the 11th century, 12th century, 13th century, our forefathers had literal machines that were consciousness-assisted machines? It's well known to some people.
If you can, is there any way possible that you could email me some of those images? Because I could put them on the screen.
Yeah. You want me to shoot it to your email?
That's a fact.
Hold on.
I'll put it on the screen right now.
What's your email?
I'll put it on the screen right now. It's the Mark 125th.
Hold on just a second.
You see the scroll right there?
The Mark 125th at Gmail. I got you right now. I'm about to send it to you right now.
Then I'm gonna upload them bad boys and we can put that on the screen and you can talk about what they looking at.
Yeah.
Because I don't think people ever heard of no shit like that.
125th or 125th? Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
The Mark 125th at gmail.com.
Oh, I got some cash apps. Okay. I see the people showing love.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Hold on just a second.
Salahuddin, Jessica, Malik, There's a Phil that sent me some. Okay, we got Phils out here taking care of Phils. All right, that's what's up. That's what's up.
There we go. All right, I'm about to send it to you right now.
Yes, sir. You know, we're gonna do a class one day about microfinancing.
Oh, absolutely.
Because the people have underestimated their powers. You know, what $5, what $4, what $3, what $2 could do. You know, and I want them to really see it in real time. The power is in the people. I said it before. I don't know who the people are. I know who the people on Cash App is because that shit comes with their name and whatnot. I could count that. I can't count the people if the people are not being counted. If they're not standing up to be counted, you vote with your dollar, right? Until you find another means of value in exchange.
Right.
You know, where I come from, you vote with your dollar. That's how you're counted. So when we made Gucci, Louis, Nike, and Apple, and all of these other brands $1 trillion, it was because multitudes of us come together and we throw $500, $1,000, $800 at these brands and whatnot, right? And they got mad at Kanye for being dropped by these labels and whatnot, not realizing Kanye only has to do the math and say, shit, well, if 10,000 people buy directly from me, you know what I mean? And I don't have to split the money with Adidas.
Right.
Well, I don't got to split the bread with the Gap. I don't even need all of the people who claim to be my fans. Right. I understand how this shit works. You feel me? There's a certain amount of people, and we gonna be good.
Right.
For my year's earnings and whatnot. I'm not trying to get everything at once. We could break this down through 5 years. You got more pictures, or that's just one?
I got some more. I'm gonna send you some other ones. Yeah, that one that I just sent you.
Yeah, feed me, see more.
Is in the it's currently in the British Museum.
Is that right?
But it was created in the Levant between the years 1241 and 1242. But it was designed to measure and detect telluric lines, in other words, ley lines.
Ley line. Wait, hold on. Let me upload this shit. Are you serious? That's a ley line detector?
Murder's bomb.
Are you shitting me?
Here's the crazy part. I want you to blow the picture up so people could see the dials on it.
There you go.
Yeah. Blow it up and look at the dials on it and tell me what you see in the dials, though.
I can't blow it up more than it already is blown.
Hold on. I got an actual diagram of the machine. See, we not playing. Hold on. I'm going to send you a diagram of the machine, brother.
Okay. So explain to the fam what this is while I get the diagram and upload it.
Woo. Okay. This is a literal machine, people, that was invented or created or manufactured in the 13th century by your forefathers. And It was designed to measure and identify what we call telluric lines in the earth, or in other words, ley lines. So it could be used to do a number of things, to find water, to do a number of things. It's not a mistake. Listen close, and I'm cutting to the chase. It's not a mistake that that scientists involved in suppressed technology projects that involve stargates, that's real, that ain't no movie stuff, how they talk about stargates that they build, but what's much easier is stargates that they have found that are naturally occurring on the planet, and how ancient people always built something significant right on the spot.
Right. They out there searching, digging shit up, and they got people believing that they're building something.
Right.
No, nigga, they're finding shit.
They're finding them.
They're finding stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know that they just got here because they looking for insects and animals that've been here for thousands upon thousands of years. But in the 1900s and the 2000s, they're like, oh, we just found these birds in the Amazon. Nigga, the birds found you. What are you talking about? How are you gonna find something and you just got here?
It's a fact. Can you blow that diagram up? That's a diagram of the actual machine, people. I want you to see the indicators on the dials.
No, it's blown up, King. That's
okay.
As much as it
Can you see it? Can you look close and see what you're looking at?
Yes, I can.
How many of y'all are familiar with Odu from Ifa?
Yes, the divination.
That's what you're looking at. Those were the numbers.
Right. Well, that's like the binary code of the computers and the quantum.
Come on,
today.
brother.
Talk black to me.
Yes.
Talk black or more to me.
Yeah.
That's fine. I like that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So these were the dials.
Yeah.
This was like a dial that you could dial up the different,
Now watch this.
Variations.
Now watch this. Okay. They have what's called, and this is what it's called in present days. It's called a stick plate. So you see the one dial. Well, on the machine, there's what's called a stick plate, right?
Yes.
Where what you do with your thumb or your fingers, you rub across it, and it's very smooth. But as you're dialing one of the or more of the dials, right?
Right.
It will stick. In other words, your finger will kind of catch. Will let you know, boom, you're on a line. Boom, you found something.
Right.
Listen, one of the most simplest of consciousness-assisted machines is dowsing. Yeah.
Dowsing.
Like grabbing a stick and finding water. See what I'm saying?
Right.
There you go.
Okay.
You know what is? Here's the modern. I'm gonna put you all on the modern term for magical machines today. Now, mind you, let me back up. There are a number of orders in Spain.
Yes.
Right, ran by our people.
Back then, or right? You saying back then?
Back then.
Right.
A number of secret orders. One of the things that they passed, a number of the things they passed were what we call magical machines.
Right.
Whether it was a symbol, whether it was an actual contraption, whether it was certain kinds of copper jewelry.
Bling,
Let me share something with y'all real quick about copper.
Bling, bling.
All of you should have this book.
The Body Electric.
Let me tell you why you need this.
Who's the author?
Robert Becker. Robert Becker is the name of the author.
Okay, Robert Becker.
Let me tell you why you should have this book, people, and why it relates to what we're talking about right now. Back in the 70s, this Dr. Robert Becker was doing research based on a simple question. The question was, is it possible for the human organism to regenerate organs and limbs? The answer is yes. That's the short answer.
Right.
The qualification is the amplification of the body's bioenergy beyond its normal capacity. Hold on. One of the things that they found in their research that helped to assist in such a thing was, guess what?
What?
Copper.
We had in
our order that was, with these things that were passed down from Spain.
Right.
We call it the copper mysteries.
Really?
Yes.
Copper mysteries?
The copper mysteries. He's revealing some of the copper mysteries as it relates to bone regeneration in the book. You guys know what stem cells are in the stem cell technology industry?
Right. That's big. Right.
Yo, bro, let me show you what's even bigger. He talks about it in this book. The significance and the importance of stem cells is that they are called undifferentiated cells. Right. Meaning what? They could be made into anything. Right? Guess what they found out is possible? The practice or the idea of de-differentiation. Meaning they could take a brain cell or a sperm cell or a skin cell and de-differentiate it, turn it into a stem cell, bro.
That's crazy. Wow.
And guess what they say determines the ability to do so? The
What's the process?
amplification of the body's bioenergy.
Right. You mean the voltage? Right.
Yes.
Nah,
See?
that's sick. I need to get that book. I need to.
Bro.
You know, it's shit like that that really charges me up. You know what I mean?
Bro.
Because, yeah, I need that.
Bro. See, a lot of us, again, what we say, like in the order about the old Atlantean priesthood reincarnating in bodies that look like you and me, bro, we came in with our eyes wide open, seeing and knowing already. So we're gravitating to things that we were already handling consciously in a previous life.
Right. We weren't born forgetful.
Right.
We kind of reincarnated, just ready to do it again. You know what I mean?
Saying?
And that's similar to how some of these star seeds are coming in. You'd be like, damn, was you a 90s drug dealer? Because your swag at 2 is kind of crazy. You know
right.
They already got the bop and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, they already big steppers and whatnot.
Right.
And you know how the mamas be dressing these little niggas up like they they the Migos and whatnot. Like damn. Their memories are kind of intact. Well, when it comes to the culture, they have like this total recall of things that that they didn't learn watching Coco Melon.
Right.
And then the star seeds, the little babies that are watching KTL at 3 years old, KT the Arch degree, they're watching the Moors, there's terminology that they are using at like 3 and 4. And I'm like, how did you put that together? That's a high concept. Like, where did you learn that? How did you know where to put that word in? I'm like, damn. And I had a show where I interviewed a parent of a child who was in Mensa, and we were asking them what was the learning technique. How did you teach this child thermodynamics and calculus? And they said that they took the route of reminding of memory. They were tapping into their memories, their memory banks, to whereas they said that they approached it as if the child already knew it.
Come on, brother. No. Man, that's so deep right there. We have a saying in Sunday school in the Moorish side of America. We say, all members must properly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school. And the teacher must conform himself to the questionnaire and let every member exercise his 5 senses who's able to do so. Because out from the Sunday school come the guidance of the nation. In other words, the real method of education is to recall. And you recall by asking questions. Mm-hmm. There was a study done years ago by this European woman who was bored. She was a psych major. And she wanted to just come up with something. She came up with, she goes, okay, what about reincarnation? We don't really believe in it, but it's a psychological phenomenon.
Right.
Let me do some research. And she did something real intelligent. She decided to begin her data extraction or collection by talking to kindergartners. She began the conversation like this. She said, who were you before you were born?
Right.
The kids were like,
right, total recall. Right.
Finally, somebody.
They're asking the right questions.
It just came out of them.
Right. You know what I mean? If you ask the right question, you shall receive the right answers. But they're indoctrinating them. Right. They're having them memorize shit, and they're indoctrinating them, and they're speaking to them like they're dumb.
Come on, bro.
You know what I mean? Like they're like invalids.
We say mind never forgets. And so this speaks to epigenetics as well, which means if we came into this world with past memories encoded in our genetics,
and the blood
question. We can ask it a question.
It's not on you, it's in you. It's not outside of you, it's inside of you. If you wake up your DNA, if you're able to activate your DNA, then you'll be able to answer a lot of questions.
Yes.
Let's stop looking outside of ourselves.
There you
go. Tap in and wake it up. Let's talk more about this old world technology.
Yeah, and see, this is what we're talking about. See, we believe that the bioenergetic system is the tech. So when we say transhumanism, we're talking about bioenergetic transhumanism.
Right.
That's what we're talking
not
about.
That other shit. Not that
I'm
white
not
spot.
talking about attaching a machine to me.
Right. Yeah.
I'm talking about being able to tap into the information field.
That's right.
So, and I'm speaking information from a quantum physics perspective, which is what allows radionics, which is the modern name for magical machines, to happen.
Radionics.
Radionics, bro, listen. Look up the Delaware camera. Bro, you'll lose your mind. The Delaware camera, they came up with the Delaware camera back in the 50s and the 60s, bro.
Really?
Where I could, listen close, bro. I could take either a spot of blood from red pill, or a skin sample, or a fingernail.
Right.
And
how you spell Delaware camera? How you spell
Delaware camera? And he could mail it to me. You could mail it to me. Put it in an envelope.
Right.
I stick it in the machine, brother, and I will produce pictures, X-ray pictures of your entire internal anatomy and tell you what's wrong with you.
How do you spell Delaware real quick?
I'm gonna send it to you, bro.
Okay. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you.
It's giving me Delaware.
Yep. I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, bro. This stuff is serious.
Yeah, I don't doubt it at all.
Yeah, it's serious. It's serious. I'm about to send. Hold on. Radionics.
Based off of the things that I've seen, you know, in terms of like the old world tech.
Yes.
And the construction of these monolithic domes and whatnot, and just the architecture that went into Cordoba and Seville and Alhambra, like it had to have technology that was ahead of its time that accompanied all of that beautiful architecture that we see that they built cities on top of, and they're covering up.
That's real, brother. This is our tech. We were just put to sleep to it because we were put to sleep to the idea that it was even possible. You understand? So there's a part of you, my fingernail, a hair from my beard contains all the information about me. But here's what's deep. Right. It's a part of the Akashic record. It's a part of the information field which knows no barriers of time or distance or space.
Facts.
See that?
Yes, sir.
That means whatever changes in me can be detected by you. And so let me tell you what's deep about radionics machines, bro. During the 60s, 40s, and the 50s, when they were developing these things, it was really being developed in the medical field.
Yes.
Right?
Makes sense.
And then it got suppressed real heavy, right? Because they would be able to do some amazing things. But then it got suppressed, right?
There you go.
Okay. I sent it to you. Yeah, brother. Yeah. The Delaware camera.
This is the diagram of it.
Yep. There you go. Yep.
Are you familiar with the dialectic field?
Yes, sir.
Okay, brother. Alkebalon 44 talks about that.
Yes.
That's the field that we tap into.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, I'll go to the top. If you want me to read anything, I will.
Not necessarily, but you could definitely share it with the viewers, because we need to open people's minds up to not just the possibility of the reality, because the reality's here, but the fact that your forefathers were doing it in the 11th and 12th and 13th centuries. See? This is important. So instead of looking at people like Socrates and Plato, they did what they did. We knew where they learned it from.
Right.
But here's the deep part. What we don't have, or what we didn't have in large part, is physical names of people to point to. Oh, they learned in Egypt. Sure, okay. But now let's talk about people like Al-Zaryab. Let's talk about people like Ibn Sina. Let's talk about people like Ibn Rushd. See, these are real people that existed, and they were your forefathers, and they existed. They're the people that are directly responsible for the present Western civilization you live in now.
Right. Blackbird.
This is the part of Black history or African American history that they don't want the masses to know because it changes the narrative.
Oh,
this is why Moorish history is so quiet. They don't want you knowing this part of your history.
Right. Super fast.
This is why, man.
Super
See what I'm
fast.
saying? They don't want you to know about. We talk about Neoplatonism and and how the role that Neoplatonism plays in Western thinking, in Western thought. How the Greeks, KRS, shout out to KRS, he talks about how the Greek knowledge, ancient Greek knowledge was appropriated by Europe because how? Because of a man by the name of Averroes. They Europeanized his name. His name was Ibn Rushd.
Right.
Averroes translated the Greek classics.
Right.
Right? He translated the Greek classics and made that available to the Western world. Then there was Avicenna, which is the European version of Ibn Sina. And they'll say, well, those are Arabs. Sure. Get our brother Tariq Berry's book, The Unknown Arabs.
Right.
We have no problem talking about how a certain group of Europeans adopted Hebrewisms. But for some reason, we think that didn't happen to Arab culture too.
Right.
See that?
Super facts.
Right. We think that didn't happen to Arab culture too. Like, you're not the real Afro-Asiatic. You're not the real Arabian.
Somebody was in my inbox the other day, and they sent me empirical proof about the melanated Moors in Yemen.
Yes.
Made me cry.
Yes.
Made me shed a tear, bro, because I didn't know the extent of what Saudi Arabia was doing to people that look the original Arabs, the melanated Arabs that Wesley Muhammad was teaching about.
Right,
the same way that they ran through Iraq and they were taking out the melanated Iraqis, and they were giving you the Saddams on TV, but they were in Basra and other places, genociding the people with that 10 and 12 strand DNA. When ISIS ran through Sudan, when ISIS ran through Syria, you know what I mean? They show you these other people, but them people when they do the drone drill, the drone attacks and everything, they be cleaning up a lot of our people, bro. The scholars who are on the brinks of exposing the lies, they get droned. You know what I mean? The conscious master teachers in those regions, they get droned, they get renditioned. You know what I mean? They go to they go to Guantanamo and whatnot.
Right.
Yes. The same way in the Inquisition, the people that they were torturing and putting in the dungeons were the Moorish scholars, the master teachers, the wizards and whatnot, the Kabbalists, the occultists of those days, the Salem witch hunt.
Yes.
They were putting people on stakes and whatnot.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Those were the healers.
And it was to kill an entire, remember, a world. Now we're talking Kabbalah. Now we're talking gematria. We're talking real science. A world is a realm of experience.
Right.
So when we say we kill a world, we mean we kill a narrative.
Right. Old world, new world.
Yes. So they killed a whole narrative. They made it to where you couldn't even think the way your forefathers did.
Right. They made it punishable by death and torture. So then they indoctrinated with the Roman Catholicism, the Holy See, all of these fake narratives. You know what I mean? So the war is always for the heart and the mind.
And so when we say in the Moorish Science Temple of America, what is our religion? Islamism. Is that a new, the old time religion? old time religion, meaning the old narrative. We're not talking about secularized religion where it's like a hobby where I go to the mosque on Juma or I go to no. We're talking about your world,
your mental.
Yes.
Right.
We're talking about your worldview, people.
Right. How we were looking, standing on the balcony of a castle.
Yes.
Overlooking our empire.
Yes.
Right. That stretched the 7 seas. That mind state where we knew the trading routes. Where we did not live in lack. Where the oceans and the seas were bustling with life. You know what I mean? Where we beautified everywhere that we went.
Hold on,
people talk about gentrification. Hold on real quick.
Do you think?
People throw out the word gentrification, right? With the gentry. And I'm like, and they blame the Moors for going places and shining their lights and building castles and just being who we are. Right. Young rich niggas. I'm saying, you know what I mean? And they get upset. They like, you should have never taught these people anything. That's like you're not telling those Europeans that they shouldn't gentrify your fucking your hood.
Let me share this. I'm glad you said that. Hold on. Do you think that Europeans came into Africa to educate Africans?
Right.
Do you? Right, exactly. So do you think that we went into Spain just to educate Europeans?
Right. Like we had a lecture. Hold on. I got a PowerPoint. Slow down, guys. You know what I mean? Stop playing in those piles of feces. I got a lecture that I want to drop on you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Slow the horse down. We got a PowerPoint. Like, wait till you get a load of this hidden colors. Like, no, stupido.
Like, what are you talking about?
The fuck?
Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. It really is. But what you were saying, here's another little tidbit of research for people, right? Solon, the priest who reportedly told Plato about Atlantis, the priest Solon, said that there were a number of kingdoms in the Atlantean Empire.
Right.
There were a number of cities, a number of city-states.
The empire, of course.
But he gives a special description to the central city-state. There's a spot that nobody talks about very publicly, but there's a ton of research on it. A ton of research, including the CIA writing a paper on it. A lot of it is still redacted. And this space gives, it has the exact, it matches 100% to the description Plato gives. Guess where it is, bro? It's called the Rishat structure. Rishat. The Rishat structure in Mauritania, just south of present-day Morocco. That's where it is.
Really?
Yes, sir. The Rishat structure. Rishat.
And this was what now? Wow. Oh, this was Atlantis that they said.
Ta-da. Even shows the salt deposits where it got flooded out, bro.
Yo, look at this, y'all. This is crazy. I learned something new today.
Sir.
Look at that.
Yeah, the Eye of Africa, it's called.
Wow, the same way that they built up Dubai from that overhead.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And they created the Rishat. And this is in
This is in Mauritania.
This is in Mauritania?
Yes.
What the fuck?
You see the concentric circles?
Yes. This shit look crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That's the waves that niggas be having in their head.
Yeah,
I could see it as I'm seeing it as Atlantis. This is what the Black Panther movie is gonna explore.
See?
With Namor on them. Wow. Oh yeah, I'm going deep diving tonight. This is interesting. Because it's literally speaking to me, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I see I could see the light. I'm feeling something strong coming off of that swirl.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna send you a video by this European investigator, bro. I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm feeling something off of that demonstration. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking to me.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's crazy.
So that would place Atlantis where though?
That well, there are a number of different kingdoms, so that's why you have very similar stories in different places in the Mediterranean, there in North Africa, in the Caribbean. You see what I'm saying? We're looking at it as one singular place when you know, there were a number of different locations. It was a kingdom.
Right. So it was spread. It was vast.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a kingdom. I just check your email.
This is interesting.
I just sent you a video that's incredible.
Okay.
He talks about the CIA research in the Rishad area. Like, what in the world is the CIA doing there?
Shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Can y'all see the video?
No, I don't think they can see the video. They have the other screen up. You have the other screen of the different pictures.
Make sure y'all hitting up that Cash App. What's your Cash App, brother? I'm gonna have to put your Cash App there because we show love over here. You know what I mean? I need my people to show out.
There's a bizarre place in the remote Western Sahara Desert called the Rishat structure. And if you've never seen or heard of this place before, you are for something truly fascinating. Some people refer to it as the Eye of the Sahara or the Eye of Africa. And when you see it from space, it's not hard to understand why. I mean, it really does look like an eye. And people are absolutely stunned when they see it for the first time. Between its unusual symmetrical shape, color, and immense size, it takes many people by curious surprise as they wonder not only what this thing is, but how did they go their whole life without seeing or hearing about it before. However, the fascination of this place goes far beyond its intriguing shape and design. 2 years ago, I made 3 videos where I shared more than a dozen remarkable similarities between this structure to that of Plato's description of the legendary lost ancient city of Atlantis. And these similarities are so astounding that the topic of Atlantis and the Rishat structure quickly became one of the most discussed and hotly debated topics involving lost ancient human civilizations, as tabloid news outlets from around the world picked up on the story, and the videos ignited thought-provoking conversation as to whether or not it's possible that the lost city of Atlantis actually existed, and if so, had it been hiding in plain sight in the remote, desolate Mauritanian desert of Africa for thousands of years. But even for most people, when they hear the words Lost City of Atlantis, most would usually think of some animated Disney movie about a fictional underwater city, or perhaps some beach resort in the Bahamas. However, a little known fact is that the true origins of the tale of Atlantis originates from the ancient Egyptians, as they had carved in stone that there were survivors of Atlantis, which were said to be a sophisticated civilization that existed some 12,000 years ago. That was until their island was obliterated by a cataclysm, and the survivors of Atlantis found their way to the Nile Delta region to start all over again as colonizers. And I'll be retouching on many of those similarities again in this video, as incredible new information has come to light, and it is now time to revisit this topic again. You see, the interest in the Eye of the Sahara is not just limited to us here chatting about it over the internet, because it turns out that the CIA has also had quite an interest in this place as well, and it goes back decades. So get this, there are declassified CIA documents on the Rishat structure, the Eye of the Sahara. That's right, and I've seen the released files with my own eyes, and I'm going to share them with you here as well. And I have to say that this stuff is beyond interesting. However, let me just say that there's nothing in these declassified files that say anything about Atlantis or lost ancient civilizations. What they do say is quite interesting. However, what these files do not say, the parts that are redacted and still classified, is really going to get you thinking. So where do I begin? Well, it turns out in 1967, the CIA conducted a secret mission where they sent military aircraft to conduct covert surveillance and scientific experiments on about a dozen different sites from around the world to study for geomagnetic anomalies. And of the few places in the world that they chose to study on this top secret mission, the mysterious Eye of the Sahara just so happened to be one of them. And like I said, the stated purpose of studying these sites was for identifying geomagnetic anomalies, which, if you're not familiar, the Earth's geomagnetic field is what shields us from the vastness of space, which, when you think about it, is incredible. I mean, it allows our planet to travel through the cosmos at incredible speeds, all while protected from the vacuum of space as we live.
Can you pause it for a second, bro?
Within a seemingly invisible shield that's in the shape of a bubble. So now that this secret mission is declassified, what were the results?
So, because of the magnetic anomaly, from my insiders that are with some of the suppressed science projects,
right?
To cut it real short, it was an ancient spaceport. There you go. Ancient spaceport, just like Baalbek in the Lebanon.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And of course, when they talk about the Stargates in Iraq.
Right.
Right.
Results of that mission and the scientific experiments? Well, we don't know, because that part is still classified, as there is nothing in these release files that say anything about what the findings of their scientific study were related to geomagnetic anomalies or their covert surveillance, which is utterly weird when you consider that this was back in 1967, 54 years ago from 2021, and we still don't get to know what the results of their findings were. So yeah, is it just me, or is that strangely interesting? But here's the thing, that is just the beginning of where things start to get weird. In fact, that is probably the least interesting part of these declassified files. Now, before I share that next part, I must first revisit a few of the remarkable similarities between the Eye of the Sahara to that of the Tale of Atlantis. So that way we can all truly appreciate just how interesting / bizarre all of this actually is. As I discussed in my previous videos, the story of Atlantis originates from the ancient Egyptians, and they had described an empire named Atlantis, which consisted of 10 kingdoms, and the capital of Atlantis was on an island that consisted of 3 rings of water and 2 of land, which, of course, when we look at the Rishat structure, you see that it would precisely match that specific detail of 3 rings of water and 2 of land. And not only that, it was said to open to the sea at the south, which is exactly what you see here at the Rishat. In fact, you can literally see the striations in the sand where water once flowed through it. But not only that, those white blemishes are indeed salt. An unbelievably significant detail, which I'll discuss more of in a moment. But Atlantis was also said to have mountains to the north, mountains that were said to have rivers run through them, which, yes, there are mountains with evidence of ancient water flow north of the Rishat. Atlantis was also said to be surrounded by a large plain, which also exists for hundreds of miles on both sides of the Rishat structure. Another striking similarity is that Atlantis was said to consist of black, red, and white colored stone, which is incredibly interesting when you see all the stones of that color in and around the region of the Rishat. There was also said to be an abundance of elephants, and elephants live in Mauritania today and have for thousands of years. In fact, there's an even ancient...
Oh, nah, we doing a trip there. Fuck that. We doing a trip. I'm dead ass. Because I haven't seen, the only person is repping the Moorish travel is Sharif Bey. Like, I haven't seen too many Moors take anybody to the castles or on fact-finding missions. And, going to Kemet is great. We'll skip through Kemet, but I'm on my Indiana Jones. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my Kentucky Jones type shit. Like, I need to find some shit that ain't been found. I want to be the new Dr. Ben out this bitch.
Plus, we want to investigate these spots with our narrative.
With our all-seeing eye, with our narrative, go up in these spots and take 5 grams of shrooms.
Come on.
And really get on your exploration type.
Come on.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, shout out to Prince Uriel Bey, the
Yes, sir.
legend, rising power
Legend.
to him. I was watching a video with him and Azazel. Shout out to Azariah, rising power to him.
It's my
You
guy.
know what I mean? Yeah. So we're losing the giants, you know what I mean? The legends and whatnot, who had, these are libraries. They had so much information that's not on the internet, you know what I mean? And they wasn't necessarily, especially Azazel, he didn't make that transition into social media where he was just spilling all of his information for free like that. You know, he was still on the ground. He was still outside with it. So
yes, he was. I'm
in touch with Majade, and I've been able to, make some moves with Majade. She has some of his intellectual property. So we're working on securing that. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's bro. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna play
Atlantis
like
was
a few
also
more
said
minutes
to
of
have
this.
an abundance of exotic fruit and vegetables, which makes the case for it being in North Africa even more compelling, considering that we now know that the Sahara Desert didn't even exist until somewhere around 11,600 years ago, where it went from green to desert in practically an instant. But many people are not aware of this incredible fact that the Sahara had previously been a lush green tropical paradise at the same time that Atlantis was said to exist. In fact, it was said to be made up of the largest freshwater lakes and rivers ever known to exist anywhere on Earth, which of course would support that the region of the Western Sahara would have naturally growing fruits and vegetables. But alleged vegetation that no longer exists in this region aside, Atlantis was said to have an abundance of metals, including iron, copper, and gold. Well, it turns out that Mauritania's most common exports today include iron, copper, and gold. But the similarities do not end here. You see, Atlantis was said to be created by the god Poseidon, and Poseidon had 10 children that came from 5 sets of male twins. And each of these 10 children would individually be ruler of the 10 kingdoms that made up the empire of Atlantis. And the firstborn would rule the capital, and his name was Atlas.
His name was
does
Red and
anyone
Blue.
want to guess who the name of the first king of Mauritania was? King Atlas, who ruled over the Maori people, which is why the land is called Mauritania today.
The Maori people,
and not only that,
the
the vast
Moorish,
mountain region located north of the Rishot just so happens to be named the Atlas Mountains. What a coincidence. Now, another incredible detail involves this map. Herodotus is considered by many to be the father of history due to his extensive historical documentation. In fact,
I think a lot of that had to do with my guy Hannibal Barker and them.
Yes, sir.
That's Carthage is right in that area too, and as you can see, that's right there near the Iberian Peninsula, the Rock of Gibraltar.
Yep.
Crazy.
In fact, we wouldn't even know about the Greco-Persian Wars if it wasn't for him. And some 2,500 years ago, he made a written, detailed account of the known world at that time. However, he himself did not draw out this map. Others, and I do not know who or when, read through his various works and annotated that the people of Atlantis lived in this region you see here, which just so happens to be the same general location of the Rishot structure. What are the odds of that? The very same place that has a highly unusual land feature that consists of symmetrical rings. Now, the similarities do not even end here. Go watch my 3 other videos on this topic, because for the sake of brevity in this video, I want to share new information that has come to light. But just to sum up where we're at so far, the most striking comparisons include that the Rishot would have 3 rings of water and 2 of land, an opening to the sea at the south, mountains to the north with evidence of water erosion, black, red, and white colored stones, an abundance of iron, copper, and gold, a vast plain surrounding on both sides. Elephants existed in this area, and not only that, evidence of profound amounts of vegetation existing at the same place and at the same time of when Atlantis was said to exist. Now, these similarities are pretty remarkable. However, that does not necessarily prove that this is the long-lost location of Atlantis. In fact, there are many different counter-arguments on why this could not be the site, which I'll be discussing in detail later in the video. But let me first circle back to the declassified files on the Eye of the Sahara. Like I mentioned, these files did not...
All right. I gotta pause that because
Yeah.
they're gonna hit me with the copyright anyway, but this channel has never been monetized. It might have been monetized for 1 week. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
So I don't work for Google. They don't send me those little niggas pay their Sprint bill and they rent with these checks.
Right.
But we depend on the people, to hit the Cash App. We
Sure.
we support, people should never even want that. Y'all shouldn't depend on Google to support this truth.
Right.
Google will support a channel that gossips, you know what I mean, that degrades their people, the Vlad TVs and the academics of the world, but for channels like this, it's really the people that keep it afloat. So thank you everybody who support us, that hit the Cash App, Phil Moreland, our good brothers Cash App. Let me throw that up there as well. Do you have something that you want to share with the people in terms of your new age technology?
Yeah, sure. Well, two things. I've gotten clearance to do a couple things, and I'm making available. One is, for instance, we talked about magical machines. Anything that is consciousness assisted or enhances consciousness.
Right.
Tarot
Very
decks.
important.
Tarot decks are magical machines if understood properly and you know how to use them.
Yes, they are.
Right?
I've seen that done too on some occasions.
Yes. We, the head of this particular order, we have an outer order that's a 4-year, and this is real work, people. This ain't one of those, this ain't no mail order. I advanced because I bought some courses and I got some extra information. Nah, that's not what it is. This is a 4-year initiation process. And the first year, I was given the permission to commission a graphic representation of the first year initiation course. Right. And I put it into a 16-card tarot deck.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And that is now available to the public. It's now available. Matter of fact, let me grab it for you. Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay.
The Voodoo Gnostic Afro-Atlantean Tarot, a visual representation of the Monastery of Seven Rays first year course.
Beautiful. Voodoo Gnostic. The Voodoo Gnostic. That's some Uriel Bay type. That's some Azazel type titles right there.
Come on, bro.
I like how that sounds.
In addition to the deck, comes with an instruction book for the usage.
Okay.
An instructional booklet. And
so there's some
the deck itself.
The deck itself. Wow, I like that. I could feel the energy coming off them cards and whatnot.
Yes, sir. And so
here, I'm gonna throw them on the screen real quick.
That's page. And so the cards have, that's the actual face card, and then a description of the window into inner space each one provides.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
So just give me some insight on how I would be using these tarot decks.
Sure.
Would that be like, how people do readings on YouTube, like the sisters be sitting there flipping cards and whatnot?
Tarot is not initially designed to do divination, although you can do divination with it. Yes. Just like the Chinese Yi Ching, the Book of Changes.
The Book of Changes, right.
It's not designed to be a book on divination, but it can be used as such.
Yes, we've had Destiny Grind come through.
Yes, sir.
And demonstrate how that is a viable source for divining.
Yeah. Similarly, this can be used in the same way, although its primary objective, its primary use is a radionics tool to accelerate the first year initiation.
Okay.
If you look on, here we go. If you look at the cover of the booklet, you see a human figure, and you see each one of the 16 cards or 16 emblems at a particular point of the body.
Of the body, right. Reminds me of human design.
Yes. So everybody's familiar with the 7 chakras of the Hindu system. What it's talking about is the bioenergetic system, the bioenergetic body. Well, there's many different ways to access the bioenergetic body, just like there's many different ways to access the electricity in your home.
Right.
And I'm telling you something, now I'm sharing with the people that most people don't know in the public about real secret orders.
Right.
Real secret orders, authentic, let me put it that way, authentic secret orders have their own proprietary means by which to hack into the bioenergetic system.
Yes, they do.
We know about the Hindu system of 7 chakras. Some have 360. Some systems have 16. Some systems have 12. Some systems have 108. You see what I'm saying? Right. The numbers themselves are tuning frequencies.
Right.
So this one, for the Afro-Atlantean current, is directly connected to the Ifa tradition.
Right.
Because in our tradition, Ifa is a remnant science from the old Atlantean times.
Right, right. Old world religion.
Right. So each one of those spaces on the body is what our French brothers, shout out to Toussaint L'Ouverture and his order. His order was called the Order of the Black Snake, which is a part of our order. Right? Each one of those spots is called penchant in French, which means a hot point. It's a window to enter the inner universe. So it's turning the human body into Abraxas himself, the universal man. That's it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I felt that. Yeah, I felt that.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. And it literally means to turn the human body into this broadcast machine to where now you can access past, present, future. You could do, the body itself is the technology.
The body is the tech. I've said it before.
Yes.
People talking about SpaceX and going to Mars. I'm like, shit, intergalactic travel is the shit right now. Not
talk, bro.
Like inside.
Bro, hold on. See what you said?
Real SpaceX.
When you can access the thoughts, let's talk about the connection between the UFO phenomena and archetypal psychology.
Right.
Carl Jung, in developing what he called archetypal psychology, did something similar to Descartes. He went into sabbatical and realized over time that there are thoughts in his head that he did not create.
Right.
They're archetypes. They're older than his incarnation. See what I'm saying?
Facts.
They're older than his incarnation, and by tapping into them, he's gaining access to life forms that exist in between his ears.
Right.
Some of those life forms are not human. The connection, when you bring them, because they're in the deeper part of the psyche, in inner space, when you bring them closer to your regular conscious, it's like bringing an alien from the deeper reaches of space closer to the atmosphere of Earth.
Right.
In the very real sense, the two are connected.
Damn.
Yes, sir.
Whew.
Now I've said too much. So,
So black budget projects.
Okay. I've done a number of it. I'll send you links, bro. I've done a number of interviews with insiders on black budget projects and suppressed technology.
Because I'm familiar.
That's how some of these. Say it again, bro.
I said I'm familiar with black budget projects that DARPA and other, know, what was called. It was called the before they start calling it the deep state. It was called a rat line.
Called the Rat Line. That's right.
The rat line, right? And it was tied
Yeah.
into like the underworld drug shit, the body, the organ harvesting, and all of that. All of that was used to fund
a lot of these things.
Right.
Now, a lot of the projects get farmed from the government directly over to private corporations.
To private corps, right? But private corps farm them to the government as well.
That's fact. Now, I've interviewed, I know a number of these insiders that worked on these projects and still do work on some of these projects. So I asked them a direct question a couple of years ago. Direct question. I said, is there a connection between black budget projects and scientists on the working on these black budget projects and certain secret organizations and secret societies and occult organizations? He said, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Because there, among other things, those old secret organizations are reciprocals of ancient technology, of ancient tech.
They're the vanguards and the recipients, right? They're exceeding the throne. So they're the recipients of the stolen knowledge, because a lot of these secret societies are inherit the stolen information that they got out of Iraq, that they got all of the places that they sacked, right? All of these libraries.
Or watch this. A lot of these secret organizations, or it's the people in them, they are the inheritors by means of being a member
by blood. Right.
They're
so they have people come in
of old tech.
Yes, right. So people come in, they're assets because of their affiliation to their bloodline.
Right.
Like a Rockefeller, you know what I mean? Or you know, they'll come in and be like, well, shit, I got a private library, you know what I mean, with manuscripts out of the Oriental or you know, the Occidental. And, you know, there's all kind of formulas in it. You know, I'm an asset. I got, you know, I got shit that I got off the black market. Like, let's work.
Or watch this. Let's take it a step further. Or they're inheritors of, follow me, an old narrative. Here we go. The narrative we were born into was linear in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Nonsense. The narrative we should have been born into, that we're being reborn into, especially in the Moorish side symbol of America, is time never was when man was not.
Man was not. Right.
We're not looking for a beginning. We know that there are many beginnings. That being said, one of the narratives, follow me on this, and this is where the Honorable Elijah Muhammad scared the bejesus out of the powers that be. He said that those little things flying around in the air, you call them UFOs coming from aliens, are actually homegrown.
Mm-hmm.
That's closer to the truth.
Right.
What you've had instead of where we are technology-wise in the world, the European caught up to us when he exploded the atomic bomb.
Right.
It's happened many times before.
That's how that desert popped up in the Sahara like that. It was lush and green. You know, when you go out there with the radiate, you know, with the gigameters, you know, the shit start kicking up. You know what I mean? Because there's evidence of
it's the truth.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, we've had cycles of creation and destruction, cycles where we've reached the height of technology and then crashed. In each cycle, there's been survivors.
Right.
How advanced you think they are?
Right.
So advanced that you don't know they exist unless they want you to see them.
That's right.
See that? So advanced that they live on. They have subterranean dwellings.
Subterranean, right? They're going in the ocean.
Okay.
They going into the mountains. You know what I mean?
But it's easier for us to believe, and the powers that be that want to control the narrative, no. It's easier for us to believe they came from outer space and only outer space.
Wow.
When thousands of millennia prior, they could have been peopled out of space and came back.
Right.
See?
Right.
See? But that changes the narrative on everything when you look at it from that perspective. How do you think Hitler knew where to go to look for certain people?
Right.
Let me tell the people how. During World War I, there was a member of the German army. His name was His last name was von Sabatendorf.
Mm-hmm.
He was an Austrian nationalist. He had some Jewish friends that lived in, he was also a Freemason. He had some Jewish friends that lived in Istanbul, Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
They were also Freemasons. He went there.
Mm-hmm.
They introduced him to an Islamic Sufi order called the Bektashi.
Right. Heard of.
They initiated him.
Mm-hmm.
Follow me. They initiated him. He goes back to Germany. Now remember, Germany took a beating in World War I. That was the rise of German ultra-nationalism.
Nationalism, that's how, yeah. Nazi party, that's right. For national pride.
Rudolf von Sabatendorf founded a secret society called the Thule Society.
The Thule Society, right.
The Thule Society had developed a political arm that was called the German Workers' Party, which later became the Nazi Party. Hitler's SS were all members of the Thule Society.
Yes, they were.
There was a partner society called the Vril Society. They had a channeler by the name of Maria Osric.
Right.
Maria Osric had a number of these scientists come in, and she was automatic writing. The result of those writing turned into anti-plans for anti-gravity craft, bro.
Right. What about Blavatsky's
Helena? Yeah.
Inclusion. What about
Helena came early. Helena came earlier, but right. Helena stole all her stuff from one of our people.
From Beverly Randolph. P.B. Randolph. Pascal Beverly Randolph. You know what I mean? And they bodied him, got him out the way.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, P.B. Randolph. P.B. Randolph was in contact with some of these very same high intelligences.
Right.
We know that because we have his writings.
He has his writings, right. He was tapped in. He's
so
a legend.
One of the big, in certain secret orders and real secret orders, what makes them authentic, one of the things that makes them authentic is having a link to what they call the Ascended Masters.
Right.
Same people that in the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad called the 24 scientists.
Right, on the wheel.
There you go.
Right. And then some people even identify the Galactic Federation.
Come on, brother.
As the Ascended Masters. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, yes.
Yes. So, original people from previous cycles of creation.
Right.
They're homegrown.
Right. I could dig it.
Yeah.
You know, I could definitely dig it.
Yeah.
I remember I was wilding on my show the other day when somebody mentioned the wall behind Antarctica. And I was like, we don't need to go behind the wall. We got enough shit going on in the Bronx. But, you know.
Which is true, by the way. Which is true.
But in hindsight, you know, if that person is listening, you know, I do want to humbly apologize for that because I kind of went beside myself because at the end of the day, you know, it's bigger than the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? And my mind is expansive, and I won't limit myself to just, you know, the mundane. So that person is owed an apology because you know, it is time to explore the inner and the outer and all things possible. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I went on a trip within, and then it showed me like, no, you know, you were in error. Like this shit is bigger than you know, you're shrinking yourself by even saying that.
Right.
Like get back into your expansion.
Right.
So,
no doubt. I mean, you got to, brother, there's a point to be made there. You think ley lines don't cross through NYC?
Yeah, no, of course. But my thing is this,
you
know, and it goes back into what I'm really harking on is that, you know, there should be levels to this shit. And it's not, because we're on the internet now and there's a deluge of disinformation. And what I should have said to the brother before I, you know, said what I said was we gotta strengthen our foundation first.
Yes, sir.
We gotta get our minds and our bodies right. Like we should work on the shit that we see in front of us, because as a student who jumped in the information feet first, but it was an Olympic pool and almost drowned. I would have fared better if I learned how to swim in the 5 and the 6 feet and then got into the 14, 24 feet.
Right.
So people are just jumping into the 24 feet. And it's like, you know, you be out there and when it comes to the mundane, that's not even, you know, niggas is withering away and not handling the basics. And then you out there, you know, you on a Star Trek Enterprise,
right,
out of space,
right,
and then you know you cut your ties to the real world, and you don't give this shit any type of reverence. When the real scholar knows that you have to balance the two, you have to have a foot in both worlds. So we can explore on some Indiana Jones shit. We could go inside of the body on some quantum Ant-Man shit, but we still got to have our house in order.
Well, that's the fact.
Yeah, we can't skip leg day. We still have to have a strong motherfucking legs in this reality or this realm and whatnot, because we can master because when you lock in with this ancient technology, you know, you'll be able to master more things in this world.
Yes, sir.
This world is easy to master.
Yes, sir.
You really, you know, if you really are dealing with a level of discipline, and if you figure this shit out. So we got to apply it to work on both realms.
Bro, that's real, bro. It's real. First of all, I have to say this. I mean, with a few exceptions, you know, I don't get to have these kinds of conversations. You know what I'm saying? With many people. So, you know, honest to your platform and honest to you and honest to your viewers for even allowing me the space. You know what I'm saying? This is
we appreciate you being here, brother.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Oh, real quick. Shout out to Akura down in the Carolinas, sister, man. She you know, she really looked out for me, sister Riziki Zafira.
Right.
And, another thing that I mentioned two things that we're putting out. One of them is the deck. It's available. Hit me up.
Yeah, where they could get that at, my good brother, because people was asking in the chat, they want that.
All right, what's the best way I can I'm gonna
put your email right here.
I'll email you a link, bro. I'll email you the link for the deck, right? Randolph initiated Abraham Lincoln to the Rosicrucians. Yes, in short, that's a fact. Abraham Lincoln was a student of P.B. Randolph. P.B. Randolph
is a legend.
P.B. Randolph, when it comes to the occult tradition in the West, he's quietly credited with providing the Western occult tradition with its deepest secrets.
Oh, for sure. He taught me about sex magic.
Yes, sir. And that is what we're talking about.
He taught me about the sex magic.
There you go.
And that's what you're talking about with who?
That's what we're talking about as it relates to some of the deepest secrets in the occult Western tradition. With those secrets. He provided them with those secrets.
Right.
He was one of 3 headmasters of an order called the Hermetic Brotherhood of Luxor, or the Hermetic Brotherhood of Light. The other individual's name was Paulos Metamon, who was a Coptic Egyptian priest. The other was a Jewish son of a Jewish rabbi, and he lived in Algeria, North Africa. His name was Max Bimstein, also called Max Theon. Those 2 later also informed Blavatsky, but under pseudonyms. The pseudonyms were Serapis Bey and Tuatid Bey.
I remember Serapis Bey.
Yes, sir. But back on the class, the second thing, so it's the tarot deck. I'm going to send you the email for that. The other, and I'm going to send you the link for the class. Right?
Okay.
These are specific aspects of the initiation process that I've distilled and turned into a course specifically for Asiatic men.
Men, right. And the name of it again?
It's called Manifest Divinity.
Right. And this is helping our good brothers to stand more upright. This is
divine masculinity, bro.
This is divine masculinity development.
Just like you could develop a muscle, you could develop masculinity, and you already know what time it is. We're in a war against the principles of manhood.
Right. Shit.
We're in a war, man. So you got to arm yourself.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Ladies, sign your sons and your husbands up,
Real
and sign Bay up. You know what I mean? Help him get his masculinity up. And that's not to take away anything that he brings to the table right now.
No, it's not.
But like the God said, you know, you see that he has, you know, we got muscles, but we want more. You know what I mean? We don't go to the gym with our head down. We go knowing what it is that we dare to obtain.
The highest expression of manhood is godhood.
Ugh. And you can't make it to godhood until you master manhood.
Bro,
That's a fact.
And follow me. Outside of genetics, shout out to brother Wesley Muhammad on this, he brought a lot of this out. Outside of genetics, outside of chromosomes, gender is 60 to 70% biochemical, which is why the estrogen storm that you're subjected to is effeminizing so many of us.
Right.
You got to have a way to counter that. There's an actual fact that from the years 1973 to 2011, sperm quality and count has dropped 59%.
So you say they had that super sperm back then?
And I'm saying today, you see what I'm saying?
Make sure you send me your email, right? I want to post that up real quick.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to do that right now.
And this is his Cash App for the family who want to bliss him and who want to, we don't say donate, invest in what it is that the God is doing. I promise you, and this is not a shameless plug. This Moore has been working relentlessly for as long as I've been in this community. You understand? He's been putting up points. He's been demonstrating. You know what I'm talking about? And he's been walking the walk, and he's been improvising and improving upon ever since I've been in the community. You dig? I discovered him on VHS. It was like, I gotta meet him. Feel me? And then I met him, and here we are. So, let's we start these Wednesday shows, but I only bring the legends on Wednesday. So when I bring the legends through, it's almost like if we was in if you came to my kingdom, when you pulled up, you know what I mean, with your caravan, we would throw roses at your feet. You know what I'm saying? Myrrh, frankincense. You know what I mean? People will put gold coins in your pocket. That's how the kingdom would treat you, as a dignitary. If when we was in Atlantis and you pulled up, we would have fish dinner for you.
Real talk. Real talk.
We had some mermaids ready for you. Like, yo.
But see, bro, like I feed off of you and Blues energy, man. Y'all inspired me, bro.
Likewise.
Like, again, we've been around each other for a long time. We've been in each other's, energy
orbit
for a long time, and I've watched what y'all are doing. Yo, bro, I'm not mad at it, man. This is
right.
Yeah,
we on mission, man.
We're learning.
Right.
A lot about from observing what you all are doing.
Well, shit, I learned too.
Yes, sir.
From others around me. So like I said, I'm a lifetime student. Yes, I don't really gotta even hit. I hit the books, and I'm online and whatnot. But I'm truly learning from real life experiences, demonstrations, and the fact that my network is so vast and so dangerous. I'm just saying, like, I could pick up my phone and call people masters from many different universes. Different universes. That's why when we lose some of our master teachers, I take it personal, and because I feel the loss.
Right.
When the stocks fall and they say a few $1 trillion or a few $1 billion get wiped off of the market.
Yes.
Like I feel like I'm like a Goldman Sachs investor on one of those recession days.
Mm.
When we lose somebody who hasn't yet, not to say that they didn't fulfill their walk and whatnot. I'm a historian, but I'm also somebody who understands the power of documenting everything. Right. So when we're losing people and their story is not documented, and I say that because I didn't put the camera in front of their face and extract what I need to extract. I didn't ask them the $1 million questions.
Right.
So it makes me look at myself and say, well, I have to change my role up, because what I'm doing with these platforms, to be honest with you,
yes, sir,
it's just I'm only giving about 10%. I could do much more. My vision is full production at this point. You know what I mean? Beyond the media. I'm talking about, and I'm not saying even I'm beyond Hollywood. I'm Godlywood. Because I'm not finna play no games with these people in these studios. I'm not going to Tyler Perry studio. I don't want to go to Paramount. I don't want to go to Harvey Weinstein studio. I want to build my own. I hope that the Nigerians step the shit up in Nollywood with their fucking camera game, so I could go out there and shoot a movie. Right. But they keep making the Beyonce, the new Beyonce movies out there, and the quality hasn't really amped it up. They ain't ramp it up yet. So we got to build our own shit.
Exactly.
I want to see you on a big screen. And you already did some movies, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You do your own stunts, right? Talk to me.
Stunts, action design, all that stuff. Yes, sir. Yeah.
So I met a set designer, right? One of the brothers that built out our lounge and whatnot. A young brother, right? He's dangerous. You know what I'm talking about? I seen him put together a bar in 4 hours. Dangerous with his hands, right? Wow. From the Bahamas. Young brother. You know what I mean? Jeez. So I'm like, shit. And he's like, yeah, I got a team. It's 5 of us, and we build movie sets. Ooh. I'm like, shit, you talking my language. Like, what you know what I mean? Like, what we finna do? Right. And it just had the wheels it had the wheels turning. You feel me? Yeah. So we got the lounge, and the purpose of the lounge that we built in Buckhead is really to have somebody for people to come to network. The same way that they knew to come to 125th Street. Yo, I dropped a link, y'all, in the chat for the product, for the cards and whatnot. It's right there. I put it on the screen, but it's also in the chat. Destiny, can you pin it, please? If you're in the chat, my mod, please pin this right here so the fam could get they get their hands on it. And so the lounge, the purpose of a social lounge is really, it doubles as a fraternity. Right. I want to start out with a 501c7 social lounge. Then I want to quickly move into 501c8 fraternal order or a fraternity. And I'm not talking about fraternity like the odds, fellows and shit like, people get spooked out. I'm talking about a fraternity where we all share a common purpose. We have full insurance, dental, life and death. You know what I mean? We take care of our people. No brother or sister left behind. You niggas will never go homeless. You won't go starving. You won't have to worry about working for nobody. But when we extract, what we're looking for is quality of membership. So we can extract, not just in Atlanta, but all around these places where our people domicile. We wish to extract the talent pool. Yes. Are you a videographer? Do you write scripts? Are you an actress? Are you an actor? Not I be acting on to my not I used to do plays. I was the no. Like you have are you on IMDb? No, nigga, can I find you? Do you have your name and credits? If you on IMDb, talk black to me like Drake said. Don't tell me you a model unless you in the Vogue. Like we not doing that. Yeah. You could get that, you know what I mean? You could go. We not doing that. We talk when I keyword quality, and I ain't talking about QC. Quality of membership, meaning that we want the cream of the crop. Let's not deal with.
Let me share this with you, bro. And that I've been involved in film, but a lot of people don't know how much I've been involved in film, right? So we have a film company. We do set design. We teach every aspect of filmmaking from pre to post production. That includes script writing, That includes, shout out to my man. Hold on, I see my brother Tim Jennings Bey. Yo, bro, let me show you what I'm working with, bro.
All right, unbelievable.
Yeah. I had a rep for the town. That's my brother Tim Jennings Bey with what Street Addiction Academy. Let me tell you what this brother and his wife did. This brother and his wife, you want to talk about providing real solutions for the community, bro?
Right.
This man and his wife put together a diagnosis and treatment model for street life addiction.
Street life addiction. I ain't never heard of that.
Bro,
That's
they're published
crazy.
in peer-reviewed scientific journals.
Oh, could you connect me with them, please?
Absolutely. You kidding me?
Yeah, can you connect me with them?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fire. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So we could do much more if we were all on some, you know, they said get on code. Like we'd be able to accomplish so much more if we would focus more so on organizing.
Right.
Like I'm calling out to my sisters out there and putting the ball in your court, because from what I've seen, y'all are the best organizers.
Right.
You know, I'm in Atlanta, but you don't gotta be from Atlanta to organize with us. We got something coming up. Let me share something real quick. I don't mean to cut your wisdom.
No,
we're gonna be in North Carolina. This is the commercial real quick. Commercial break, y'all. Commercial break.
Dope.
Facts. Okay, so the food, the art, the clothes. We put this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. Yeah.
Woo.
You better stay on your toes. Repo, tilling the land, focus on the ego. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grid, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Facts. Forget we gon' put this shit on our back.
So we come into North Carolina, most importantly, Charlotte, right? Queen City, Charlotte. The last place we went was Richmond in VA, right? We went to where the slave port was, where they had the Confederacy in the capital of the Confederacy to wake up the dry bones in that state and that city and whatnot. Now we're going to Charlotte, right?
Right.
So the purpose of the facts is to extract, right? Food, art, clothing, technology, shelter. When me and Blue pull up to a certain city and whatnot, we're looking in the audience because that's where the talent pool is.
Yes.
Y'all know what we do. We've been doing this for we ain't no we not the spring chickens and whatnot.
Right.
People, y'all got gold water, y'all got herbs, you got clothes. They know what they looking for.
Right.
We looking for y'all while y'all looking for us. So
Let me share
we
this
turn,
with you, brother.
Yes.
I want to share. Well, you know this already, but the viewers don't know. Another like with the Four Corners magazine and everything. We used to do the beat battles on DeKalb in Washington at the 5 spot.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been involved in music.
Into Fight Club. And
Right.
Fight Club with the beats.
Y'all see that right there?
Yes, Blade.
Gold plaque. Gold plaque.
Oh, you was a part of that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You a legend, yo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yo, Blade. You see the video going around with Sauce Walker?
Yeah.
Blade made the Marvel universe, the new MCU that everybody
made it possible.
Made it possible, and they put that man in jail for his taxes because he was with Dr. York type shit. He went ahead and he picked up that motherfucking whole studio, made it $1 trillion entity. And this is how they treat us. Put him on his back.
He put Marvel on his back, bro.
Facts. Fucking him right. Yeah.
So I say all that to say this. I've been involved in music industry for a minute, right? That being said, I need everybody to go check out my brother. See, remember I mentioned about the film production thing? Myself and my brother, we put together a film company called Finally Focused Films, right?
Right.
Look for us. But look for my brother. His name is Great God. GREA, the number 8, GAWD. Look for Great God. Great God broke. Y'all heard of Griselda?
Right.
Great God broke Griselda.
Right.
Great God did. Great God put Griselda out, or introduced them to the world, to the music industry before they blew. There's actual fact. There's actual fact.
Right.
He did a documentary.
Chase Infinite.
Yes.
Was with him.
A documentary called Bars. Buffalo, Albany, Rochester, Syracuse.
Woo! Now you see if you listen to Griselda, every single West Side Gun project got who on the intro?
Hey, Rashid.
Right. Do you know A.A. Rashid's role in Griselda?
That I don't know. I know he was connected.
It's a mystery, and I'll let it remain as such.
Yes, sir.
But there's no way whatsoever that you show up on every single intro.
Right.
Of this. I'm talking about the biggest group to come out of not New York to come into the game.
Real talk.
They revived not boom bap because they're not necessarily considered boom bap, but they revived 90s hip hop.
Bro, they brought the East Coast back to
They brought the East Coast back to where's my bombs at? God damn it. Sound machine. They brought the East Coast back, yo. I don't people say what they want to say.
They brought the East Coast back, bro.
And A.A. Rashid plays an integral part in that whole revival. I won't put his cards on the table like that. Right. But the fact that he heads off every project. He spearheads every project. He leads West Side Gun. And I'm not talking about, hold on. It's not Benny. It's not Conway that got him. It's West Side, the head honcho. Yo, and bro. He spearheads every project.
Let me tell you what little tiny bit I do know is that there is the whole art visionary connection. And I'll leave it at that.
So what it all boils down to is 2 or 3 things, as we see with our good brothers that are dying in the rap game. Yep. If y'all don't have spiritualists on your side, if y'all don't have Kabbalists on your side, if y'all don't have astrologers on your side,
you ain't got no vision.
You don't have no vision, and if you don't have health practitioners for all of the artists that are dying of health-related issues, you niggas is moving backwards, and you would rather align yourself with the help. You would rather align yourself with Caucasians before you fuck with your own people, and that's where you went wrong, right? If you link with your people who are smarter than you and been doing this longer than y'all niggas is tough, right? We don't want to be tough. We want to be behind the curtain as the Wizard of the Oz. We want to be the Svengalis. We want to be Yoda. We don't want to be Luke. You niggas could skywalk all day. I'm Yoda and I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's where the power is at. Watch the demonstrations go down. There's movies being made in your face, but it's not up to us to tell you what's going on because it's a secret society. All we ask is trust.
That's it.
You know what I mean? We're shaping the fucking culture in front of your eyes. There's fingerprints of the community on all of these movements that's moving right now. The top 3 rappers is talking about they Israelites. Kendrick, J. Cole, and Ye. And then you got other artists that are echoing that sentiment as well. So you mean to tell me that these people are not being touched?
Right.
And then there's a cabal, and then there's a brick wall, there's a firewall that they got to go through. And that's those people who are bankrolling our ignorance, and it's their job to keep Hiram asleep. They've actually been tasked to do that by the blue bloods and the people above them, but it ain't working. And they're going to try to push back, and we're going to run them over.
Right.
And I don't want to be here. We 3 hours and 13 minutes in. So I only say that. Yeah, I only say that because I got to factor in when people do the playback.
Yes, sir.
They have to, you know what I mean? They got to make that decision like, damn, do I got 3?
Right.
But for all of my truck drivers,
yes,
what I'm talking about? All of my shorties on a Greyhound moving at work.
Right.
All of my people in the gym with that 3-hour workout.
Right.
My dudes that's sitting in the back of your class and whatnot, trying to, with your headphones on. Sure. Yeah, this is that work right here. It's gonna get you through life. You know what I mean? Everybody driving from Atlanta to Charlotte. It's a 4 hours. We're gonna cover you for 3. You know what I mean? Yeah. Give thanks. I'm gonna send Charleston White after y'all if y'all keep playing with me.
Sure.
They out here making Charleston White look like a prophet, though. How about that? What kind of world are we living in? They got Charleston White looking like a straight prophet. Because all of that shit that he's talking about is coming to pass. As much as a lot of people can't stomach him, they got Charleston motherfucking White. He's gonna take that fake eye out, and what do they say about the man with one eye?
He's in the land of the blind. He's king.
He cooking these niggas, yo. Charleston is cooking these niggas,
right? And
everything that he's saying about the streets is on point, and it's showing you is manifesting what kind of juju is he working?
Right.
He working hoodoo. He's not voodoo. That's nigga. He's working at backwoods Texas hoodoo, and he's damn near a prophet at this point.
Yeah, bro.
And he's a sacrifice, but he's a prophet still, because if they take him out, he's on Kevin Samuel status. He's Godfather, and they're gonna make a whole bunch of Charleston whites if they do anything to him. So he kind of got niggas balls. He got him by the balls in a sense, but he's bringing down the nigga empire brick by brick.
Right.
You know?
Right.
He's bringing it down.
Right.
I want to play some music.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any last words that you want to leave the family with? I'm gonna have you back soon. We're gonna cook up some more
I'm loving
classics.
I'm loving it, bro. I love sharing. You know, there's this whole thing of there's with some people that, members of the Moorish Science Temple of America don't open up and they don't share and they don't teach things. Nah. First and foremost, that's not me. Secondly, that's not the organization. You know, listen, one of the things that Noble Drew Ali gave us,
right?
He gave us secret information,
right,
to practice as our religion in the open.
Right.
That's why we're talking about what we're talking about. That's why I'm talking about what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? So I'm available, bro. I love sharing like this. Plus, two, it's almost late. It's almost late in the game anyway.
Right.
We behind the 8 ball. We need to know.
You talking about information in 2022.
Yeah.
When you supposed to have been in class in 06, 7, and 8, 9, 10. We can't help it if you late to class, my genius.
Yo.
Because a lot of the information shit got scrubbed from the internet. And if you gotta humble yourself and pull up the right way, and we'll point you in a direction to where you could find a lot of this hidden information, because the information got thrown out there, niggas weaponized it, and they caught bodies, not literal, but they went real goofy and crazy with it, and they had to get stopped. The ancestors sat a lot of you niggas' favorite teachers down,
right,
and whatnot, because they was mismanaging and mishandling nuclear materials and whatnot. So in what era and what day and age and what time do you throw out sacred information to people who not even proving themselves? What the fuck you talking about, bro? You the profane until proven until proven different. You don't get you like, there goes that rights of entitlement, and it reflects a new generation. And I'm not shooting at the new generation, but y'all know what I mean. Y'all don't want to work. Y'all don't want to put in no work. Y'all not patient. Y'all come around certain people, and then y'all start calling yourself master teachers after 2 hours of practice and whatnot. Right. Y'all are not really about that life. So stop playing with me once again.
Right.
Y'all came from the debate era. You're not, you don't even have edification like that. You think information is about a dick measuring contest. You're taking the information so you can monetize it, and you could go ahead and charlatize it. You Charlemagne the God ass niggas out here. You know what I mean? Y'all just, you know what I mean? Y'all 2 minutes away from wokeism. So I'm not, you know, I'll turn into an asshole around shit like that, because y'all need to humble yourselves and be fucking students.
That's real. That's real. That's real.
You know? Be a fucking student. We sat at the feet of the master teachers and even cleaned their shoes if need be. We were very humble. We would never in our life have the audacity to be like, damn, Bobby, you holding back. And he's giving us 8 hours of information, 10 hours of information. Where was you when this man was at war? How dare you say anything to this dude? Like I said, he saved the whole Moorish paradigm. He picked them back up. Y'all wasn't outside. Them niggas was in the grave, bro. I had to come on 2/5 with a fucking shovel.
Yo, bro, you remember the video you and Blue did on site on the event? Man, Sonnet had to take that video down, bro. Oh, yeah. That hurt his feelings, bro.
I need that, right? I need somebody screen recorded it. We was wilding.
But you said some very truthful things. You said, listen, had it went the other way around, it would have been all types of fez and kufi smacking. You see,
They would have got violent. It would have turned into some violence, bro.
Yes.
It would have turned into, they would have been the same way that was around the same time that ISIS was out, right?
Yes.
And they went and usurped a whole group. Remember, Ali Muhammad and it was ISIS. Niggas was in Kemetic talking about, they naming their babies ISIS. And then they started a whole terror organization. Nobody had no pushback or anything.
Right.
Nothing to say. But they would have been stringing up Moors in the streets like ISIS was stringing up Moors over there in the Middle East. It was dangerous for a few hours and whatnot outside.
Bro,
you feel me? And we had to get militarized. Niggas had to switch into war mode to fight for the rights of some people that don't even fucking understand and respect. You know what I mean? All of these new these gremlins that popped out of the back of Gizmo, right? They not even they don't have no fucking respect.
Right.
They don't pay no homage.
Right.
And they don't even know who's who.
They don't even know the players, bro.
Don't even know the players. Get your kufi smacked. You know what I mean? Don't even know the players. And they just online. They be online trolling all day. And they don't even be demonstrating. Shout out to the ones that are demonstrating, the handful of y'all that's digging deep and digging up the information and regurgitating shit that some of the masters said, but y'all making it plain. Right. And they on TikTok with the 1 minute videos flaming shit. I respect those people.
Right. Straight to the point.
But all of the charlatans.
I want to. Speaking of that, I'm gonna make the time, man, to move around with you all and travel with you all, bro. For real.
Let's make it happen.
Yes, sir.
Make it happen. We could make something definitely happen because I'm finna hit the road. Yeah. Like I said, I'm about physical. That be the highlight of my years. All of my physical, lectures. We even turning the lounge. We switching up the business model. And we're gonna make the lounge as we go into the winter months. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be events only. You know what I mean? We was doing a weekly thing, but now we're gonna change it to event only, and I might do a monthly lecture there. But when we do the lecture, the deck is gonna be stacked so high. A nigga gonna be like, I can't. This shit gonna be like Invest Fest. They're gonna be like, I can't miss that. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna be a moment in time. Right. So where I come from, my school, the school that I came from, I never missed a lecture.
Right. Come on, bro.
Never.
I was.
Because if I wasn't there, then there wasn't a lecture.
Right.
That's how I seen it. Until I show up, it don't start until I show up.
Come on.
And I had to be there. My presence had to be there. My eyes and my ears, the millions of ancestors that are in my blood and my DNA, they got to be live in the building with me to get this information so I can motherfucking wake up.
Right.
That's how I seen it.
Right. That's right.
I remember walking out of Phil Valentine lectures with a migraine.
Yes.
But the migraine was he short-circuited the fucking chip that I had in my head. He evicted the European who had real estate in my brain.
Yep.
There was a whole eviction process taking place over the years where Bobby and Hakeem Bey and you and everybody was coming through with the mop and the broom and sweeping them the fuck up out of there. They was evicting them because they had real estate in my brain and my subconscious from my 0 to 7 programming.
Yo, shout out to Hakeem Bey and Moo Atlantis, bro.
The Moo Atlantis, another unsung hero who turned the lights on before these squatters came in here and squatting in the castle.
Right.
Hakeem Bey turned the lights on in the castle before all of these fucking Moorish squatters came to squat in the castle and sell the people our utensils and our silverware.
Right.
Because that's what they out here doing. They selling the silverware from the castle. They selling pieces of the chandelier and the upholstery couches and whatnot.
Right.
They not even selling the house.
Right.
And Hakeem Bey, if y'all don't start off your lectures paying homage to the ones who came, the C. Freeman L's, the Hakeem Beys and whatnot, I feel that you're in dishonor. You have to. I make sure to say the names because I know people are Googling those names. They're pausing it, writing it down. What did he say? Dr. Delbert Blair, Hakeem Bey, C. Freeman L. Oh my goodness, Dr. Phil Valentine, Bobby Hemmett. You know what I mean? Because people be like, "Yo, I found you because somebody said your name." So I return the favor.
There you go. There you go. There you go. But that's what we're supposed to do.
Hakeem Bey was ahead of his time. Atlantis. He was technologically advanced when people did not understand what the fuck he was trying to do or talk about.
Real.
He was on his metaverse. He came with the metaverse shit years ago, bro.
Ain't that something, bro? That's real.
It's like, I mean, I'm learning, but I'm like, this nigga's advanced.
Yeah.
So shout out to him. Anything that you want to leave them with?
I want to give honors. You know, since we do that. That's what we do. We give honors. We're honors to do. I want to give honors to the two brothers that introduced me to the Moorish movement. Those two brothers are Brother Nakeem Bey and Brother Ralim L.
Shout out to Ralim L, the legend, aka the truth. Shout out to Nakeem Bey, another one.
Right.
That they don't say his name, and he was very instrumental, a beast with it.
Right.
You know, rise and power to Azazel, aka Azariah,
Absolutely.
Dr. Jack Felder.
Matter of fact, bro, I'm glad you brought him up. Yo, Azrael Azazel Bey, he gave me my first lecture opportunity at the Dempsey Center, bro.
Are you serious?
Word is born, he did.
Come on, man.
Word is born, he did.
See? You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And that's the video that I probably was watching because I was buying my videos from him.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had your whiz with you.
Sure did.
Going in.
That's a fact.
Yeah, you was going in. You was going in. I remember that.
Yes,
that shit that was doing numbers in Harlem. That's a classic in Harlem.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Jewel Pookrum, Sophia Stewart, you know what I mean? Sister Myra, rest in peace. Woo! Not Sister Myra L that y'all know, but there was a Moorish Sister Myra.
That's a fact.
Yeah, was doing paperwork for everybody, and she was a beast with it. Yafa Bey, Rosmariah Bey, Taj Tariq Bey.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Abdullah Mosley Bey with the fucking etymology, the legend.
Yep.
I mean, come on, man. Uriel Bey, rising power to him too. He was a super legend. He has books that are in the Library of Congress. He was wicked with the Latin.
Yep. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, you got legends, man.
Legends, bro.
You know,
legends,
super legends.
Bro. Legends.
So yeah, you said you was gonna leave him with something, right?
Bro, just the highest. I'll just say this. This is all I'm gonna say, right? We talk about a whole bunch of high science and all this other stuff. The highest science, look around us. Look at what's happening at dice games with people with millions of dollars. The highest science that we can express is love for each other. It's how we treat each other that's the highest science, people.
Right.
We fell knowing full well who we were. Mm-hmm. The loss of our identity and nationality came as a result of our fall. That wasn't the cause. That was a result. Slavery was a result of our fall. We fell knowing exactly who we were.
Right.
We have to learn to treat each other right, people.
Right. Didn't nobody just pop up and put chains on us. We had already fell.
Yes.
We was already falling. We was on the run. When they ran us out of Spain and the empire fell, that was the beginning of the end.
Yes.
And everybody, and I couldn't understand it until I put those pieces back together and I was able to create the full puzzle.
Yes.
I thought my shit started, 3 hours into the epic movie. And I was able now to go to the epilogue, to the prologue, to the beginning of the movie. I was able to get the trailer, my nigga.
Right.
I was able to get the trailer. So I got the whole epic put together now, and I'm good, and I see it, and I'm like, yo, I want to retell this story. This is an epic tale. So we got work to do, man. We got work to do. We gonna cook. I want all of y'all to get those cards, that tarot deck. especially those of y'all who are into, you know, building up and edifying yourself. Hold on.
Red, if we have a significant enough people with interest in the cards, I'll work with you and we'll put together a class.
I was about to say, y'all, you know, tap in and we could, you know, if based off of the response that he gets, we could talk about a master class, because the family likes the workshops that we do. We get a lot of support on that. I'm not above doing a workshop, especially for something as divine masculinity, right? Yes, for the brothers, you know, who really need that. Let's keep it a buck, yo. You lose nothing. You lose nothing in the process, right? You only gain. This is something that you're not learning on Facebook and the gram, and you can't Google this stuff. You feel me? You cannot Google this stuff. You know what I mean? This is information, this transfiguration, transformative, and we need this. This is about the search. Man, know thyself. Man, edify thyself. You know what I mean? This is a personal journey, a personal walk. You feel me? This ain't living through nobody. This not regurgitating nobody's, parakeeting nobody's. This ain't dick measuring. Oh, that's my guy. He beat your guy. This is not Mandingo wrestling.
Nope.
This is upstairs. This information is going to make you stronger, both mentally, spiritually. It's going to help you with your foundation. And it's going to put you in a better place in this society.
That's real.
This going to judge you based off of your walk.
Right.
Not what you own, not what car you're getting out of, or what fucking chain you bought overpriced from these people from Israel that was robbing you anyway with your lab diamonds and stupid shit, or your blood diamonds. You know what I mean? This ain't about your trinkets, because we see the people with the trinkets are going through divine judgment because they didn't even spend their money right.
Wow.
So the fool and their money will soon part, and there's a lot of parting taking place. So break that down real quick. This thing that we got up, the divine masculinity.
Yeah. And so this again, remember people, you know, qualities. Remember we did the little exercise where, you know, you prove to yourself that the true you is non-physical. It's in a higher dimension already. Right. And so the quality, thinking, understanding, reasoning, willing, these are actions of the soul. These are actions of your soul. This was the part of you that actually listened. Consciousness speaks from the highest plane of spirit life. That's what was doing the speaking in your head. Your soul was listening. See what I'm saying? So these are things thinking can be developed. Thought must be developed by the exercise of strength. Thinking can be developed. These are qualities of the soul that can be developed. Masculinity is a soul quality.
Damn.
It can be developed. And these are things that were part of old secret orderism and a part of higher learning in the old world. See what I'm saying? This is why healthy competition builds testosterone naturally, just by being in that environment. See what I'm saying?
You ain't never lie.
See, it's real. But this whole idea of everybody wins and just because you participated and showed up, you should get an award. Yeah, that's estrogen building for men.
Right.
See? So this is an actual course to develop the quality of masculinity at the highest level, at the middle level, and at the physical level. And put in your hands the keys to develop this. Bottom line, it is accelerated, purposeful evolution. That's what it is. Yes, sir.
Fire. You know what I mean? Fire. I'm very interested in this. This is speaking to me.
Yes, sir.
You said enhanced male sexual wellness. I see translation, bedroom bully.
That's there.
Yeah.
That's there. That's there. But now remember, I'll throw some course material at you. You know, again, this stuff has always been secret, but here we go. The base of the spine, the base chakra, people are familiar with base chakra, is always associated with hell. It's always associated with evil spirits. Why? because that's the lowest vibration before actual physicality. But there rests some of the greatest power. The heavy lifting is, can you raise the vibration of it?
Right.
Can you ascend to heaven without wings?
Right.
There's the goal. See, there's the goal. Are you gonna waste, or are you gonna transmute? And you could still be the bully in the process.
Right.
But that requires a lot more discipline.
Right. You done know.
Yes, sir.
You done know.
You done know.
So yeah, man, it's been beautiful. It's been wonderful.
Absolutely.
And you know, I'm definitely honored to get back in the swing of things with you. You know, we put some classics together over the years on KTL Radio, Blog Talk Days.
For sure.
Y'all go and Google Sharif Bey KTL Radio if y'all want to tap into some earlier demonstrations that we did in the old world. I call it the old world. Back in the days, the old world. You know what I mean? Before we went digital, we was cooking in the analog.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? We was cooking in the analog.
In the Yahoo group days.
That part. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, we're gonna get up out of here. I want to remind y'all that we do have the replay. This is one of my highest selling lectures of this year. Shout out to everybody that pulled up. You know what I mean? Fear of a Blackamoor Messiah, Ye Are Gods. You know, No Holds Barred, 7 hours. Yeah, that old time feeling. Me and Blue Pill. Here's a commercial to it real quick.
Define our own narrative. Like when you talk about the White Lives Matter thing, I wanted to play you this message that Farrakhan sent me and Puffy about White Lives Matter.
White lives have always mattered because that's what caused Yaakov to be the god of this present world.
They're constantly monitored by facial recognition cameras that are able to instantly put a face to a name. Now, the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark out of a possible 950 points. A score in the 700s is considered good. Around the 500 mark is not. For now, the number is a sort of credit rating, keeping track of everyone's spending habits.
I think being ranked is a good thing. A society has to have rules.
That's what they did to Kanye.
Real.
That's what they did to
It may
Kanye.
seem scary, but it's just like that here.
What was driving her wasn't the trappings of being the queen and the luxury.
Yeah, man.
That's dope.
Yeah, I'm back on my movie shit. I made that trailer. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I'm back on my. Gotta keep it cinematic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, we made a movie. You know what I mean? And in the lecture, like I said, it's 7 hours, and we deep dived on a lot of shit. Then the next day, you know, Takeoff got taken down, and the first day of the first 2 days later, and the first day of November, right? The Jason months, the ending Jason months, November, where they're feeding, they're quote unquote, you know, they're sacrificing, and they spread the brother's video all over the web of him laying there lifeless, you know, in blood. That's the sacrifice. That's the ritual right there on Halloween. Somebody was fed off of that, and it wasn't out. We don't do shit like that. We're not that demonic as of yet. We haven't fallen that far into. We don't even know how to do that type of magic yet.
Exactly.
So the same people that were fighting Kanye, and they needed some blood. They needed a sacrifice. They needed something to fulfill that you know, the blow that they took, that he gave them by putting the truth out there. They needed a blood sacrifice, because the blood sacrifice washed everything away. You won't hear about Kanye in November like that. That blood sacrifice is what kind of like alleviated that, and they was able to take one with them, a Liar Cohen artist, right? The Migos was signed to 300. That's a Liar Cohen artist, and if y'all don't think that those people put your soul in a mason jar, or those contracts that they own you in perpetuity, and those Kabbalists and those wizards could go ahead and spirit cook you to make wicked things, because he got hit with a stray shot, to make things just happen, Stansley happen to you, like all of the artists on Empire. Then y'all need to get your black asses back in class, and I say that literally. Get your ass back in class and learn a little bit more. Crack some more books open, because you're underestimating the reach of these sorcerers. You know what I'm talking about? They have soul ties to a lot of these artists based off of the magic, the Babylonian magic that they're doing, the pen. You know what I mean? Locking them in. Yeah. And then when these people that are dressed like they're in Saturn and whatnot get together and they start working your ass and they start cooking, there's implications in the real world. Right. So I ain't even gonna say too much, but I'm out. We're gonna play this Facts Initiative.
Yes, sir.
Y'all support the channel. They've been supporting all night, so I appreciate everybody hitting the cash out real quick. Let me read some names, because this is a classic right here. So we want to emboss these names into you know what I mean, into Jeremy. Shout out to Skylar, National Black Treasury, Fatima, Christopher, Akhenaten, Mario, Saludine, Jessica, Malik. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Thailand. You know what I mean? Everybody that's been showing love, we appreciate love, y'all. The Cash App is right here. Phil Moreland. You'll see my face pop up, Red Pill. If you don't see Red Pill pop up, it ain't me. I got on a tan shirt and I'm looking real handsome. Yeah, that's your boy. And Sharif put his Cash up there. Sharif is Ananil Bey. That's the
$ SNIL Bey. That's right.
$ SNIL Bey.
That's
it. And we will see you tomorrow on Third Eye Thursdays. I'm a cook. You already know I'm finna bring the fire to what's taking place in the hip hop industry. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be on my Charleston White shit. Call me Charleston Off White. You know what I'm talking about? New name, Charleston Off White. You know what I'm saying? I'm a cook. But it's been a pleasure, my good brother.
Yo, likewise, brother.
Yes, we chopped up Major Game. And we got so much more to chop, man. I'm gonna come and visit that library soon.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? You're gonna make Jeff Bezos jealous with that Amazon library.
Yo, shoot me a snail mail addy. I got you.
Okay, I got you, King.
Yes, sir.
Let me get that shit working.
No
All right, y'all. Facts Initiative. Make sure y'all pull up in North Carolina, November the 25th, instead of Black Friday, Facts Friday.
Yes, sir.
It's a movie. Facts.
Okay, the food, the art, the clothes. We put this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. You better stay on your toes. Repo, tilling the land, focus on the eco. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grind, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Found out the hacks, put it in nitty rap. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. We in your city, pull up where we at.
facts though, I talk factos. Ask J Babe, I go Astro. Floating focused on my cash flow. We plant star seeds to make the grass grow. I'm a refloater, I do what I wanna. Stacking the winter, sunbathing the summer. My chakras align and I shock them like Blanco. Only Pope we acknowledge a nigga is Pablo.
At these events, I'm a god to my people. Got out the streets, yeah, we dodging a Rico. Game of roulette, I'm a casino. The game wasn't fair, yeah, the odds wasn't equal. Squad got the Chico, my squad got the Chico. Game in a drought, yeah, they starving the people. Blaming and doubt, make it harder to eat, yo. Not a placebo, this not a placebo.
The food, the art, the clothes. We put this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. Yeah.
Floating focused on my cash flow. We plant star seeds to make the grass grow. I'm a refloater, I do what I wanna. Stacking the winter, sunbathing the summer. My chakras align and I shock them like Blanco. Only Pope we acknowledge a nigga is Pablo.
At these events, I'm a god to my people. Got out the streets, yeah, we dodging a Rico. Game of roulette, I'm a casino. The game wasn't fair, yeah, the odds wasn't equal. Squad got the Chico, my squad got the Chico. Game in a drought, yeah, they starving the people. Blaming and doubt, make it harder to eat, yo. Not a placebo, this not a placebo.
The food, the art, the clothes. We put this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. Yeah. You better stay on your toes. Repo, tilling the land, focus on the eco. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grind, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Facts, facts. Okay, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. Found out the hacks, put it underneath rap. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up what we had. Facts, facts.
Started in Richmond, art of my district. Heart of the mystics, started for biscuits. Father to isfits, martyr to misfits. God is my witness, God on my hit list. Moving the weight, we started with fitness. Moving with states, we art of the richest. Give me the blues, my heart is in Memphis. It's part of adventure, started my venture. The F is for food, the A is for art. The C is for clothes, I'm playing my part. T is for check, I'm playing it smart. S is for shelter, I stay in the park. Acres on acres, get lost in the dark. We playing a part, we playing it smart. Facts, facts,
okay. The food, the art, the clothes. We put this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. Yeah. You better stay on your toes. Repo, tilling the land, focus on the eco. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grind, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Thanks.
In my district, heart of the mystics.
Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. Found out the hacks, put it underneath rap. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up what we had. Facts, facts.
Started in Richmond, art of my district. Heart of the mystics, started for biscuits. Father to isfits, martyr to misfits. God is my witness, God on my hit list. Moving the weight, we started with fitness. Moving with states, we art of the richest. Give me the blues, my heart is in Memphis. It's part of adventure, started my venture. The F is for food, the A is for art. The C is for clothes, I'm playing my part. T is for check, I'm playing it smart. S is for shelter, I stay in the park. Acres on acres, get lost in the dark. We playing a part, we playing it smart. Facts, facts,
okay.
Yeah.
The food, the art, the clothes. We put this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. Yeah. You better stay on your toes. Repo, tilling the land, focus on the eco. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grind, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Thanks, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. Found out the hacks, put it underneath rap. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up what we had. Facts, facts.
It's a movie, it's a movie.
Facts.